let me set this up for everybody here, okay? So this is how it's going to work. This is the tier maker list, of course, and we're gonna go through each launch game one by one, and everyone is going to have a chance to talk about each game because you're gonna have to, because we're all going to be picking where it's going to land on the tier list. So whatever tier ranking you give, you need to say why, and then we'll move on to the next person. Okay. Now, how this works is this is not your standard S tier A, B, C, D. It is, but it has different names. So the S tier is the Captain N tier, the Game Master, the best of the best. So this is legit. This is your S tier. Then the A tier is the Wave Race 64 tier. Underrated, polished, ends up being a fan favorite. And we have the B tier. And this one really hits home because I bought this game on launch day and played it when I was in summer school. And that is the Tony Hawk GBA port tier. Better than it had any right to be. And if you play, if you guys have played it, yeah, it's so good, right?
Yeah.
Then we have the C tier, and that is the We Tried tier. Odd but charming, not quite there. Now the D ranking is the Mad Catz controller tier. It's functional, but barely.
Brutal.
And then we have the F tier, which is Reggie Fils-Aimé saying, "What's wrong with you?" This is the tier that Reggie disapproves. When Reggie's asking what's wrong with you, what's wrong with this game, that is an F tier. Because if anyone can see the good in a game, it's Reggie Fils-Aimé. Those are the rules, okay? So we're going to start this off. And I am going to go in order of my list below. And let's go in the same order. Who would like to kick this off? Okay. Mr. P.
Fuck.
Prime time.
God damn it. All right.
Wait. Let me ask a question because I had to step away for the restroom. Is this like just like obviously you put in the cool descriptions for each tier, but is this just like a hype check, or is this how we think the games look?
Yeah, so guys, this is like a pre-ranking of the Switch 2 launch lineup. Okay, like right now, where do you think these games rank? Okay, and then we'll revisit this in maybe a few weeks, a month, and kind of see if everything we said stuck or not after we've played these games. For instance, we might say today that a certain game on this list is like a B or C tier, and then after we play it, we're like, holy shit, this game was really good actually. Like a Tony Hawk GBA port. A game that you don't expect to be great, but then it ends up being extremely good, right? And suddenly it's more like an A tier game when you thought maybe it was going to be a C tier game. So that's what kind of makes it fun, is that we're going to see today what we think about these games, how we would rank them, and then we'll come back and rank them after we've played them. And then also how it's going to work, guys, is that, hey, look, if me, Prime, and Eric rank a game in the Captain N tier, and then you guys all rank a game in a different tier, it's whatever tier has the most votes.
All right.
Probably overheated.
Make it easy. All right, so we're good. Prime time. Kick us off, please, with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Nintendo Switch 2 edition.
Okay. I'm going to put it in the We Tried tier. Now, it's crazy for me. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But I'm not really excited about it for Switch 2. There's nothing really going on with it. Okay, some higher frame rates, some better resolution. That's cool. No new content. I don't like to replay games. I actually almost wanted to put it all the way with What's Wrong With You, but they wanted something Zelda at launch, so I'll give them a pass that it can't go quite that low. And I gotta be honest, my heart can't make me compare Breath of the Wild to Mad Catz. I can't.
Good.
So that's where I put it.
That would be sacrilegious.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with Eric. Eric Moore.
Yeah.
You're muted.
Oh yeah, I muted myself because I'm just trying to figure stuff out.
Your camera crashed.
Yeah, my camera crashed. I'm trying to figure it's back up, but
no,
I
it's
can't
fine.
figure out why it's not.
You'll have to go out and back in.
Yeah.
Anyways, go.
Oh man. I mean, I love the game, so can it only get better? A tier probably on that for me.
Wave race.
Wave race tier. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm just hoping it's better.
Oh man. Breath of the Wild, I am going to Okay. I need to clarify it because it sounds like you guys are ranking on hype or excitement, but it sounded like Stash was explaining that like how we think it's gonna fare critically. I'm gonna say Tony Hawk Game Boy Advance port tier. Better than it had any right to be.
Okay.
I love his description. That's so great.
I know.
Demetch, how do you feel about it?
I think that it's going to be like A tier because with the increased frame rate resolution, it kind of is like a new experience. I actually played it, and I believe it's actually at 120 frames per second, not 60. But I think Nintendo's not saying it because it's not stable.
You and I have the same thoughts as far as that frame rate. Okay,
Right.
so A tier.
I'd have to say A tier. Although I think the mobile app thing is it's kind of arbitrary. I don't really think it's going to add much to it. I would never use it. But just the fact of being able to play the games in 4K or even just having 120 frames per second, even if it's not at the same time, it's a game changer. It's going to be almost like a new game in a way. Obviously not, but still.
Yep. I hear that. Okay. So A tier for Demetch. Robot Joe. Mr. Robot Joe.
I almost want to go where Nintendo Prime went because it's like, I guess it's cool. I mean, it's on the Wii U, it's on the Switch. Does it need a Switch 2 version? I think it's gonna be better. I'll put it in the Tony Hawk GPA port section just because I do think when people get around to playing it, they're gonna be like, oh, okay. I mean, this is awesome, but I don't think it's gonna be anybody's first launch game. I think it's gonna be something you get to when you're like, all right, I've tried these 10 other games. I guess I'll see what Breath of the Wild feels like. And oh well, it's actually pretty cool, but it excites me 0%. And it's a great game, but okay. Yeah.
My excitement is pretty low for Breath of the Wild.
Okay, I guess that just leaves me. And I gotta say that after playing it, okay, I mentioned this numerous times in my Switch 2 experience video for Zelda. It, as Demetch said, it feels like a brand new game. The way that Nintendo has applied the wide color gamut HDR is extremely impressive, and it's something that, again, I'm going to say this until the Switch 2 comes out, because then everybody will be on the same page. You have to see it in person. The way the colors pop is extremely impressive. And between that, the resolution and the frame rate makes a world of difference for a game like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. As far as the Zelda Notes app, I'm interested in it for the lore. Because, again, I've been playing Zelda since the 80s. If you give me more lore, I'm going to eat that up. I'm very excited about the lore aspect. Am I going to use the GPS? No. Am I going to use some of the other functions as far as giving me all the stats on where I'm at as far as 100% completing the game, that seems useful. Like, I'm down with that. That's cool. I'll take a look at it. I'm really there for the lore, though. And, that's the updated, what is it? The Zelda. What does she give you? The information? You guys remember what I'm talking about? All the updated lore that they're adding to it.
I thought
the Zelda voice part.
Yeah, I think that was for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's
it was
for
the
Tears
Breath
of
of the
Kingdom as
Wild.
well.
Yeah, I think it's. Is it for both, Robot Joe?
No, I thought it was only for Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
I definitely could be mistaken though.
Yeah. So as far as the app, GPS, I'm not going to use. I've already beat the game. Here's the thing, though. I beat the game 8 years ago. I beat it when it came out. I have not returned to it. Typically, I do not return to games like you, Nate, because there's too many games to play. There's too many experiences to be had. However, after playing it at the Switch 2 experience, I was immediately excited to return to this. Legit. Like, I'm going to 100% it again. I am very excited for it. I would almost give it an S tier. Almost. If it was a brand new experience, I would. But I'm going to give it an A tier, which means we have 3 A rankings, which means this is going in the Wave Race 64 tier.
Damn.
And then again, we'll see how everyone feels after everyone's played it.
True.
Right.
All right. Bravely Default. Prime time.
I am going to go with the Mad Cats tier. So here's the thing. This isn't because Bravely Default isn't a good game. It is. I beat it. It's wonderful. But what did I just talk about replaying games? Not really that into it. And just taking a game that was on a handheld and putting it in HD, that doesn't excite me. They didn't HD 2D this. They didn't remake it. They didn't redo a whole lot. They put it in HD. Like, that's just not exciting to me. It's honestly kind of lazy. And I'm not saying the developers are lazy. I think the decision to only do this with the game is a lazy decision. It's like a quick cash grab kind of game. And the thing
kind of reminds me of Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, just like the way it was remastered.
I get like Luigi's Mansion 2 is great. I love the game. Did not buy the HD version. Read the reviews. Glad I didn't buy it. It just wasn't a good decision. And I think it did affect the sales of Luigi's Mansion 2 not being as big as they could have been. And I think the same thing kind of here with Bravely Default. People buy it because it's cheap, right? It is one of the cheaper games at launch. But it's also a game key card, which already makes it just less appealing. And then on top of that, they didn't do a whole lot with it to make me want to buy it. Like, I've been trying to get my hands on it. Like, I was just looking at Best Buy, it's still not up at Best Buy to buy here locally. And I'm like, I was thinking to myself, why am I still trying to buy this game that I know I'm going to turn on for like 2 minutes and never play again? Because I already beat it. I already know what happens. They didn't add new content. So, yeah. I mean, the only thing that keeps it out of the what's wrong with you tier is that it is a good game. And I know it's a good game. So there will be people that enjoy it, even if for me, it's just not it.
Okay. I understand. Eric, how you feel?
I honestly don't know how to rate this game because I've never played it. But Nate made some damn good points that it does kind of just if this is not just a full on, like, if it's just a reskin that they just made it look better and didn't really do a whole lot else to it, then yeah, to me it does feel a little lazy. And why couldn't you actually HD 2D it? So yeah, no, I'm okay with his rating.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, it very
I
well
thought you
could
might be more
a damn
excited
great
because you've
game.
never played it.
No,
but
I haven't. I mean, it looks fun, but I don't know. It's probably still nothing I'm actually going to get.
Okay.
Okay. Game Bird.
Yeah, I'm gonna rate this one higher than both you guys. Although not as high as I wish I could be rating it. I'm gonna put it in the we tried category. I love Bravely Default. I played the crap out of it. And I never got to finish the game, but it is a wonderful game with an incredible turn-based combat system. And the turn-based combat system in this game came out at a time when a lot of journalists were saying like the reason, and even devs saying the reason why we don't really do turn-based games anymore is because it's tired and it's boring. And the Bravely Default system in this game, that the name is based on the combat system.
Yep.
Bravely is you can decide to attack. If you go brave, you can decide to attack multiple times with the character in one go. Or you can hold back and save up attacks for like an all-out attack. And it's this balance of like, do I go all out? Do I go a little bit intense? Do I play super defensive? And it becomes this nice kind of like ebb and flow and kind of tug and war puzzle-based turn-based combat. Really excited for this game. It loses points for one. I do agree it does feel like a slightly lazy port of the game. And it loses some points for me because it's a key card game and not a true physical release. That being said, I'm probably picking this one up and I'll probably revisit it because I must have been like 3/4 of the way done with this game. So it'll be an opportunity to revisit a game that I really, really loved and finish it. And the story is really good too.
Nice. So you have a lot of history with this game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now, the thing is, it's just like, this is not a game I've ever played, and it's not one that particularly interests me. But the fact of the matter that it's a very basic upscale sort of remaster from a 3DS game, and that it's a key card, it's kind of leaning towards the what is wrong with you category, even if it's a good game. Like, all right, I think this is like a good talking point. Like, whenever a game's revealed to be a game key card, do you guys lose hype for it? Because it seems like we are in sort of agreement.
Yeah.
I don't lose hype for it myself because if I did that, I'd be losing hype for majority of the lineup. Yeah. So I'm just not going to let it affect me that way. Just like all the bullshit that goes on in the world every day, I'm not going to let it affect me, even though I don't like it, but I won't let it affect me because I can't. Because if you do, what are you going to do with yourself?
Yeah. So game key cards, they don't make me necessarily knock games down much unless it's a game that I feel like already isn't that compelling of an offering, and then it's also a game key card. That's where I kind of knock some points off. If it's
like puking on a pile of crap.
Yeah, like if it's like a brand new game that I'm really excited for, it being a game key card probably won't knock it down a whole much for me because ultimately the game is what matters the most. But in this case, like Bravely Default, as much as I love the game, I'm not going to replay it. I'm not going to get it. It's only HD, so I don't feel like they did enough. And then you're also telling me I can't even own it completely physically. It just isn't that kind of. That's where where a game key card comes into play, where it's like, if it was full physical, or maybe I would have picked it up, but I'm not. So,
I mean, if it's a good game, maybe that would save it. I wouldn't say that I have hard feelings about it either way, but just everything so far kind of leaning towards the what is wrong with you category.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal.
Hey, I don't hold anything back.
It's just to give you a little bit of background. You said if it's a good game, IGN gave it 8.6 back in the day. It's got 85% Metacritic, 91% of Google users liked the game, and many people sing the absolute praises of this game.
I can tell you firsthand, it is a phenomenal RPG at a time when they were feeling stale. The combat system, I can't sing enough praises for it. The Bravely Default, I didn't do a great job of explaining it. There's a lot more depth to it than that. It really makes for some exciting battles.
Amazing soundtrack too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
real quick, the when you enter the towns and cities, they do it like the storybook, almost like the pop-up book diorama, and it's gorgeous, all hand drawn, like the cities when you enter them. It's stunning.
all right, Demet, you're going with what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it. Let's
All right.
start things off on a wonderful note like that.
All right, Mr. Robot Joe.
A couple questions first.
Yes.
Did this game release on the Switch at all?
No.
No. Okay. So
There's
3DS game,
Bravely
right?
Bravely Default 2 released on Switch.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay, it wasn't on the Switch. I don't know about this one because I was gonna say if it was on the Switch, I would just pick up the Switch copy because we've seen that the new Dragon Quest 1 and 2 is getting
Yeah.
the Switch 2 is a game key card, but the Switch version is obviously there, so I'm just gonna get the Switch version. So I would say maybe that would change it up a little bit, but I don't know. I haven't played it. It does sound interesting though. I don't know. I'll put it in We Tried. Just because it sounds like something cool, and maybe I'll pick it up one day when it's on sale, but yeah, I just don't really care that much, to be honest.
There we go.
Okay. I do have this game pre-ordered. I have it pre-ordered physically, and however we want to define that. It is a game key card.
Fake physical.
Yeah, fake physical, but I do have it pre-ordered. From what I've gathered, both Best Buy and GameStop are not going to be getting this game in store. It's delivery only.
Yeah.
Mine is delivery only. Yeah, so I don't expect it to show up on launch day, which is fine because I can't play all these games and give impressions on all of them on launch day. So it'll come in a few days later.
Yeah, by all means, if it's delivery only, I am very content with the category I put it in.
Yeah, that's what it is right now. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know whose decision it is. Obviously, right? It seems like they don't want to give it shelf space. I don't know.
This is a great name for the game key cards. Physical games, faux physical.
Yeah.
There it is.
So for me, I'm excited about it. I'm legit excited. Personally, Bravely Default, awesome games, and like Game Bird, I didn't get to spend enough time with this back in the day, so I was very excited to revisit it. And because it's such a great game, I'm not. I guess I'm not sweating the fact that it's not like a HD 2D and that it's like just a basic upscale, because it's just such a great game that I guess I don't need all of that. I'm just happy it's off of 3DS and on Switch 2 and made available now. And
TV turned off.
I am just very excited for it. So I would give it a at the least a Tony Hawk GBA port. Personally, I would give it that. But that doesn't matter because we have Primetime gave it a D. Eric, you gave it the Mad Cats as well.
Yep.
Game Bird, you gave it a We Tried. Demet, you gave it the Reginator. And Mr. Robot Joe, you gave it a We Tried as well.
Yeah.
So we're kind of at a standstill because I gave it a B. Had I not given it a B, it would go down to the lowest average because of the Reggie grade, and it would have sat at the Mad Cats. So now it's between Mad Cats and a We Tried. And I don't think we can move this baby to the middle. It won't go in the middle. It has to go somewhere.
Coin flip?
Yeah, coin flip, dude.
Thunderstack trying to rig the tier list.
Who's
It's a
got
collusion.
who's got a coin?
Oh shit. Oh, I got a coin.
Let's see.
I haven't seen a coin in
I think
years.
I might have a coin. Let me
Right?
check.
A
What
Bitcoin.
coin?
Do
Just
they
go-
even make
Actually,
coins
yes,
anymore?
I do have a coin.
All right, he's got a coin.
It's the limited edition Super Mario Odyssey Cappy one, so I'm gonna be
Sick.
delicate.
Is that a
throwing
silver
it.
round?
All right, let's see.
Otherwise, they can flip the hot chip or the hot.
All right, it's tails.
Coin.
So, well, we got to call it. So it's going to
What
be
is that?
What do we want to do? Do you want to say heads for We Tried, tails for Mad Cats?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
All right.
All right,
for it.
let's do it. I just gotta do this on my chair. I don't want it to break. Tails.
Yes.
So that's Mad Cats.
Yeah. Yes.
That's exactly where it should
All
be.
right.
It was written in the stars. That's right.
Here we
That's right.
go.
You could've just asked me and stopped there. We had it. We had it right all along.
All right. Next up, we have Civ 7.
Oh wow, I forgot this game was launching.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
let me mention something to everyone real quick. So it's $70, right? $69.99. It is a game key card. However, you can buy the Switch One edition and upgrade for $10. I bought the Switch One edition on Amazon about 2 weeks ago for $49. So I'm gonna upgrade it for $10. So I basically got it for $59, the Switch 2 edition, and I got an actual physical game. That's it. Just want to throw that out there. Those are the options.
Sure.
And Nate's a big Civ 7 fan.
I love Civ.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have not played Civ 7 yet. I've been holding out because of Switch 2. And I usually play Civ on PC. I want to be very clear. It is a perfect PC game. It's a strategy game. I love it on PC. But I had this feeling that Switch 2 would have that mouse mode, and I'm like, you know what? We're gonna wait and see what it's like on Switch 2. And everything that I've seen so far looks really good. The developers have talked really well about it. They're saying, it's up there with some of the PC settings. Obviously, it's not going to be as beautiful as it would be on my nice big desktop or my gaming laptop. But I don't expect that because it's a different experience and handheld, and you can go to mouse mode super quick. And when they showed in a video how smooth it was going from mouse mode and back, I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is becoming a pattern that I'm noticing how smooth that transition is. So I don't think it's going to end up being an S tier, but I kind of have it up in the Wave Race 64 tier because what does it say? Underrated, polished, fan favorite. Now, it might not be the fan favorite part. I don't think this is going to be a game that sells like bonkers. But I do think that it is being underrated and overlooked. I heard a lot of people at the Switch 2 experience is one of the games that got played the least.
Facts.
And that's a bummer because Civ's an amazing game, but it's like people don't really understand how big of a deal the mouse controls are in a strategy game like that. And that's where I'm like, dude, the one thing I don't do with computers is I don't hook them up to my TV because I can never quite get it to look as good as it does on a monitor. But being able to slap this game up on the big screen behind me with Switch 2, oh yeah, baby. Like, and I read about that upgrade, so that's what I've been looking for. I've been looking for the Switch 1 sale so I can get it slightly cheaper than the Switch 2. So you said that, then I looked at it, I'm like, oh dude, now it's down to 48.
Oh, dude, yeah.
How do I hold out even a little bit longer? Do I hold out a little? Like, is it going to get 40 next week?
I mean, if anything, I think it goes up.
Yeah, it probably will go back up. So, so that might be the route I go. Not because, and by the way, I'm going to give Civ a pass for the game key card. And the only reason I'm giving it a pass on the game key card and having it not affect anything, like I'll buy it for the game key card, I guess, if that's how I choose to get it. To me, it's a PC game. All PC games are all digital.
Right.
So I can't really get mad at them for not wanting to do a physical cartridge when literally a majority of their sales are on a platform that doesn't do physical. So
that makes sense. I mean, I never thought that I could find a rationale for game key cards, but hey, you actually came up with a good one.
Well, yeah, PC first games, like they literally are all digital. So
yeah, that makes sense. Still,
it does.
Yeah,
So-
I suppose getting a physical edition of a PC first game would be a luxury. So,
and I will say, when there's a chance that I might just bite the bullet on the Switch 2 version because I'm going to go pay off all my stuff at GameStop. And if I'd be like, do you guys still have pre-orders for Civ 7? Ah, fuck. Throw it on there. That's what's going to happen. I already know it because I love Civ 7 and I haven't played it yet. Well, I love Civ. Sorry, I can't say I love 7. I haven't played it yet, but
I knew what you meant.
yeah.
we get you.
All right,
All right.
Eric, can you add some more to that?
Yeah, I can actually. No, I agree with Nate. It's I've played Civ games. They're awesome.
Yeah, love 'em.
The only thing that I could see would be the sales is just I don't know how well this is going to sell on the Switch 2, just because it is mainly a PC game. But again, the mouse mode is perfect for this, so I'm going to probably put it in the Tony Hawk, just because of the sales. I just don't know how well it's going to sell.
So, do you think that Nintendo fans are maybe less civilized?
Oh,
No, it's kind of
Nicely said.
man, it's
And yes.
man, yes, we are completely uncivilized.
and yes.
All right. So you said Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
All right, Tony Hawk tier. Game Bird, how you feeling?
I'm gonna put Civ 7 in Mad Cats category. Yeah, I'm going down for this one. Listen, I have no problem with civilization games. I think these kind of games are a lot of fun. I've enjoyed many throughout my life. Obviously, my opinion could change if I got my hands on this one. I do know, as far as like open critic goes, there's a 10-point drop from Civilization 6 to 7.
Yeah.
I think Civ 6 has an 89 on there, and Civ 7 dropped to a 79, which is a pretty big drop. Again,
Yeah.
I haven't played it. I also, because like this is the type of game where I feel like a keyboard really lends itself to it. I just don't know, like, as cool as I think it is that Civilization is going to be on Switch 2, I just don't know that a game like this would be my preferred place. Whereas maybe a first-person shooter or a ARPG like Diablo, it's like, oh yeah, that like makes perfect sense with mouse mode. So again, I don't think it's awful. I think it's going to be functional, maybe barely, but we'll see.
Okay. Good explanation, Demetri.
Yeah. I'd never played a Civ game before, so I don't really have an opinion of it. I mean, the game keycard thing doesn't help its case, but considering like the reviews it's got, what do you do if you just have like no opinion? Like, is there a tier for that?
You know, I'd say no
I think the
opinion
We
tier would be a
Tried.
C.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried.
Because it's
Mi-
the odd
middle
but
ground.
charming.
Yeah.
I guess We Tried would work.
Okay. All right, fair. Mr. Robot Joe.
I have never played Civ as well, but it's a game I've always wanted to play. I'm a huge history person. Probably a little too much, actually. I freaking love history. I like strategy games, and yeah, I
You
haven't.
love Civ.
Yeah, and I know that's actually kind of why I haven't played it yet, because I know I would love
You
it.
get
And
addicted.
yeah, I know I would get addicted to it, but it does look really enticing. But I do think I will eventually pick this up on an eShop sale in like a year, to be honest. It's not high up on my radar, but I do think I watched all the reviews as well when it came out, and it seemed like a lot of the I mean, lifelong Civ fans, people who are still playing Civilization 2 today, they seem that they took some features out they didn't like, and
Yeah,
and that,
this
so I
is
don't.
the Civ that supposedly tried to innovate the most.
Yeah,
Since Civ 2.
yeah. So I don't know if it's the first Civ I should start with. But that being said, if it runs better than the Switch version, because that looked not great,
No.
if the mouse controls make sense. Again, this is one of the games I wouldn't have a problem it being a game key card. I think this is gonna be a sleeper hit, low key. I don't think it's gonna sell the best, but I think it's gonna be a damn good game for some. I don't know why I have that feeling about it. So I'm gonna put this in Tony Hawk. Yeah,
Damn.
I think it's gonna.
Alright.
I think it's gonna be one of those games when you just make casual conversation with somebody. They're like, "Have you played the fucking Civ port on the Switch, dude? It's actually really good." So
There we
Okay.
go.
Okay, so for me, I have not played Civ, but again, I did buy it because I'm going to play it. I'm excited to play it. I'm excited to finally dive in. I too absolutely love history. This is a game that previously I didn't play because again, I know it's going to pull me in
Right.
and take up a lot of time. But in the spirit of wanting to, review these games, these launch games, and get out impressions, I picked up the game. And I do think the mouse mode is going to be very cool. So I'm excited about it. I am excited to finally learn how Civ works. I've actually watched a few videos already that kind of give an explanation on how Civ works and some tips for people who are brand new to the series. So this is me diving into something new because it's a launch title, right? And this is why you release games as a company. This is why you bring games at launch, because people are more willing to try something new.
Yeah,
And that's why I am trying something new. So I think it's going to go over well. I do. I would be comfortable putting this in the Tony Hawk GBA port tier, which is 3 for Tony Hawk. And that's where it will live now.
Right on.
Cyberpunk.
Guys, I have to get out of here before we start.
Yep, you're good, man.
Cyberpunk, that's my most anticipated game. Put that at the very top.
There you go. He's just doing it right
Thanks for
now.
having me, guys. I hope
Nice.
to come back soon.
Absolutely, man.
Nice
meeting
to
you
see
guys.
you.
Good having you on,
Have me
man.
here.
1 week left. Let's go.
Let's
Hell
go.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Literally
Now,
in 19 minutes.
he said at the very top. So are we counting that as Captain N? That's the very top.
That's what he
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
That's what we're
All
going
right.
for.
Let's do it. Okay. Prime.
Yeah.
Where you at?
Oh boy. So I played Cyberpunk on PC a little bit. So I have a little bit of experience with the game. I'm again gonna go wave race tier with this one. It's one of those things where I'm not so sure that it's underrated. But I do think that it's going to be extremely polished. And I do think this is going to be a fan favorite at launch for sure. Just looking at the category itself. And obviously, where things are going to end up after we play it and all that stuff, who knows? But right now, it seems like there's a lot of hype around this game. It's like the most talked about game coming to Switch 2, even though it's on PS4. So it shouldn't have been considered like this impossible game. But here it is. So I honestly think that the weird thing is a year from now, it could be even better. Like we can get 60 FPS possibly added a year from now. So,
Yep.
Look, I think it looks really cool. And every time I see a Super Metal Dave 64 video go up and he's comparing it to like the highest end 5090, and he's like, dude, do you see how good this looks compared to like the literal best this game can look? I'm like, yeah, it does look pretty good. I think people are going to be pretty impressed with this game.
Okay. Same. Great explanation. Eric?
Yep. I just pre-ordered it right now.
Oh, nice.
Physical?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember, this is the flagship third-party physical, and that you're getting the whole game plus the expansion on cartridge, which, again, is unheard of right now. So
Yeah.
I will say one thing positive about game key cards is that they are tangible. I like to call digital games NFTs because they're not freaking tangible. But at least with game key cards, you can trade them, give them to a friend, sell them. Good looking on the bright side, guys. But
Demetri, I agree with you. I actually compared them on a previous show to like a nice. Listen, we're all headed towards the full digital age. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Whether
come on, can the memory of
or not.
Stadia just stay a little longer?
I know, right? But
So good.
that being said, I think it's at the very least, and not that this is like a big positive, but if you want something tangible on your shelf, this is a transition item, I suppose, for the key cards at least. Not this game. This game's obviously
Yeah, this game's physical.
Oh, man, this is good.
You can taste them. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
You can't taste them.
Gambird, or did you give your thoughts on Cyberpunk?
No, is it my turn?
Yes,
Am I
it
up?
is.
I also have some raced here.
I'm putting this in S tier. And the reason being is this game is doing everything right, in my opinion. We're getting Cyberpunk, including Game of the Year nominated DLC on a physical cartridge. It has regular controls. It has mouse mode that I think is going to complement the game really nicely. Prime mentioned what I was going to say. I'm glad you mentioned it, Prime. This is one of those ones that all of us on the podcast for a long time kind of predicted leading up to, the big Switch 2 reveal that this game was going to be ported over to Switch 2. For whatever reason, a lot of people thought this was an impossible port. But the game looks stunning. And the build that Stash got to play based on his impressions and the great impressions that Stash had visually, the way it felt, knowing that build was 7 weeks old, right? Am I correct in my memory? It was a 7-week old build that you played, and they confirmed that there would maybe not to you, but in articles or interviews, they confirmed that there would be improvements leading up to the full release. But yeah, this game looks stunning. People have had great impressions of the way it plays. Again, it's doing everything right. Physical release, includes DLC at a great price. I'm sold. This game looks awesome. I played maybe I want to say like 12 hours of the game on PS5, but hey, we're going to get this game. It's not as powerful as the PS5, but we're also getting the game on the go. And like you said, Prime, this game's probably going to look better a year from now.
That's a good thing to bring up, because whenever I see people compare like the power of the Nintendo Switch 2 to the PS5, I don't understand why they don't put into consideration that this is a sleek portable system. Like, of course, it's not going to be as powerful because you simply don't have as much real estate as something like an Xbox or a PS5. But it's very powerful for what it is, and it's very impressive.
Yeah. It's weird that people don't make those complaints with like laptop versus desktop PC,
I mean, that's pretty much exactly what
you got to factor in portability into the price.
For sure.
But,
yeah.
this is
definitely
S tier for me. I'm really excited to jump back into this world, see it through. I'm stoked to play it on my TV. Nate, you mentioned playing Civ on the big TV. I have a pretty good PC. It runs games really nice. But I'll be honest, guys. I don't like PC gaming. I have a remote job. I sit in front of my computer for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, staring at my computer. Honestly, the last place that I want to be, and I know this is a personal thing. If you work, at a retail spot or you work at an office, maybe it's different and it doesn't apply to you. But when I get off work, the last thing I want to do is, if I'm not editing or working on a video, I don't want to be sitting at my computer. I want to be kicking back on my couch, my beautiful big TV, and enjoying and separating myself from my work. So
100%.
I'm really excited to play this.
I'm the exact same way too. I thought it was like a really hot take. It might be, but for gaming, what I like to do is just sit back in my recliner, play the game on the TV with a controller, or even if it's like a handheld system. I never got into PC gaming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Except for some of the things you could do, like emulation, stuff like that. But console experience is just so much better to me.
Yeah.
100%.
And again, to just for anyone in the crowd who's big on PC, I do like PC gaming. I used to do a lot more of it. Now that I got the remote job, I just don't want to mix, I don't know, my workspace with my relaxing time and fun space.
Yeah.
It ruins it for me.
How dare you? I'm just kidding.
I 100% agree with you. I'm the same way. Like, you work all day on computers. Last thing I want to do is continue staying in here and then play on a computer. So totally get it. Demetri, how you feel about this one?
Cyberpunk's a game I actually want to check out. Like, originally I didn't check it out because, I primarily play on the Nintendo Switch. But now seeing how the game's evolved and just all the hype surrounding it, I gotta say, just because I haven't played it, I'm not sure if I would put it in Captain N tier. But I will say Wave Race. I think A tier is good. I think that's definitely suitable for it.
Okay.
But if I end up loving it after playing it, very much could be in Captain N.
So, I played it. Switch 2 experience, of course. Really enjoyed it. Thought it looked great. It was an older build. So again, this game is only going to look better and perform better as we get closer to the launch date because they've had more development time. If you guys have watched the actual footage directly from CD Projekt Red, they have the footage on their website under the media page where you can watch it without the YouTube compression. And I think that makes a good difference, but it still doesn't translate the wide color gamut HDR. Because even me viewing it on my HDR monitor, it just doesn't look the same versus when you're actually playing it. Meaning it looks a lot better. I always circle back to the Series S version. It got a patch 2 years later to run at 60 frames per second. So they worked 2 years to optimize it. So again, what we see today, what we see at launch, there is a precedence for it to actually look better down the road. Not only because it's a new console and developers are learning how to maximize the new console, but because CDPR has historically done this. So I think the product we get on launch day is going to be incredible, but that it could look even better down the road. For me, this is a flagship third-party launch title. I'm going to give it an S tier, Captain N, which means we have that's an S tier.
All right.
That is our first S tier.
The first S tier, baby.
First S tier. baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Cyberpunk!
All right. Deltarune.
Ooh.
Yeah. That was a
Okay.
good one.
Okay. We have a lot of games to go here, so I'm gonna keep this short.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to keep it short for a lot of these games.
Let's do it.
I am gonna say this is gonna be Wave Race 64 tier. Because we already know Deltarune kicks ass and we've been waiting for chapters 3 and 4 forever. I fully believe these are gonna hold up.
I
Yeah.
agree. I've always
Yeah.
wanted to play Undertale, and considering the reception, I would say I agree with you there.
Yep.
Okay.
Undertale is awesome. If Deltarune's any as good as that is,
Yes.
then yeah, that's
How
exactly
long was the gap between the first two, or like the first chapters and this?
Oh, it's been huge. It's been a massive gap. I can't
Like-
remember.
Released in 2018, I believe, or I could be wrong.
I will say that while Nate's looking that up, that remember purchasing this,
2021.
it's $24.99 and it
Oh,
gets you all of the chapters.
Oh,
So it gets you the future chapters too.
Yeah.
oh, geez, yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that
And,
seems like a really good deal, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Game Bird.
Yeah. I'm gonna put this one in Wave Race 64 tier. I've actually never played Undertale, and
Oh man, get it.
I've been told by many people, dude, this is a game that you'd love. And I have no doubts in my mind. It's just one that I've never picked up and have never played. Obviously, I'm a huge Earthbound fan.
Yeah.
You know, many recommendations. So again, kind of like how Eric said, if this game is anything like Undertale or nearly as good as Undertale, people seem to really love that game. It's something that I definitely want to get my hands on and play, and I'm sure I'll love it. So I'm gonna put it in A tier.
Do you need to play Undertale before playing Deltarune?
I don't know. I
You
assume
don't
so,
need to.
but-
You don't need to, but there are reoccurring characters, so you'll get
So
more
it-
out of it, but you don't
Yeah.
have to.
It
It's not
complements
going to
the
be
game if you
Yeah.
played. Yeah.
exactly like any long running franchise. There's always going to be some things that complement it from other games, some Easter eggs, that
Yeah.
sort of thing that you can pick up on. And Demet, you gave it a Wave Race already, right?
Right.
Okay. So this one's unanimous. I'm giving it a Wave Race as well. I am very excited for it. I love Undertale, and again, I mentioned this in my launch video, my Switch 2 launch guide. A lot of inspiration from Earthbound. So again, support this. Go out, support this game. You support it. Hey, maybe Nintendo will pay attention, right? Maybe we'll get Mother 3 someday on GBA. All right. So next up, we got Fast Fusion. Fast Fusion, $14.99. Shannon, digital only. Already announced a free update. 4K 60. 8K backgrounds. What the hell is going on here? Prime time. Where are you at?
Which game was it again?
Fast Fusion.
Fast Fusion?
Fast Fusion.
That's S tier. What are we doing? Why is this even a conversation? Do I even need to explain why it's S tier? One, it's the first.
I don't think so.
It's the first 4K Switch 2 game. Confirmed. 4K. They're working on it being 4K 60 for an update after launch. Not just that, set aside frame rate. Dude, this game kicks ass. The original game that came out at launch of Switch kicked ass. This game looks like it's going to kick more ass. And honestly, if you guys look at any of the trailers or any of the screenshots, it's almost one of the most visually stunning games at launch. I think people are going to play this and be massively impressed.
Okay.
Sure. I'm good with that.
I haven't pre-ordered.
I'm good with that too. I mean, I'm surprised I haven't even played the
$15.
first one yet.
Yeah.
You'll see why coming up.
Okay. Game Bird.
I'm S tier. I agree with everything Nate said, and like you said, Stash, it's $14.99. You're getting an F-Zero like racer with stunning 4K visuals, 60 frames per second. You know, once that update hits, $14.99. The first one was fantastic. This is gonna be a sleeper hit, guys. Check out this game, please. I beg you.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm also good with S tier. And again, I talked about this in my launch guide video. I'm super hyped. $15. They already announced a free content update. And they have, I think, like at least six different performance graphic profiles. One of them is actually 8K backgrounds, which is insane.
Wow.
Obviously, the Switch 2 can't output 8K, but the backgrounds are in 8K. Yeah, this is going to be badass. And at $15, everyone should be picking this up at $15.
I think I'm just gonna. Is there any physical one or?
So
Did they
it's
ever do a
digital
physical one for the
only.
first one?
It's digital only. I pre-ordered it at Best Buy digitally because it goes into how much money I spend to get the rewards back. Because they're doing a special deal with Switch games and accessories for every $150 you spend, you get 20 back. So I'm going to get like $100 back.
But yeah, this is from an indie dev. So yeah, it's
Yeah. I created these box arts custom. Fortnite. Free game.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be clicking fucking heads in my bed. It's S tier, baby. I'm gonna play the fuck out of Fortnite. Look, I'm not one of those people that spends all the money on all the shit, but my fiance loves this game. Ergo, I'm gonna play it a lot, and ergo, she's gonna see how much better it is on Switch 2 and be begging me for a Switch 2 like 2 days after she sees it. Dude, I look, I know some people hate Fortnite. I'm not one of those people that hate it. You can play it absolutely for free. Unlimited fun. I love it. S tier.
Might I also add that it'll be running on Unreal Engine 5. That much is confirmed.
And it is on Unreal Engine 5 on Switch, but you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know. It's
Exactly. Are we expecting this to run at, what are you expecting?
I think it's gonna hit 60.
I
And
think
then-
there's an option for 120 frames.
There might
yeah,
be.
I think there might be too. Yeah, I think this is going to do really well in the performance department. Eric, how you feeling?
I'm not a big Fortnite fan. I don't really care. I don't hate it. So I mean, the only thing that I guess would make it better is because it does have mouse controls. So
Yeah.
I guess it's slightly better than middle for me. So Tony Hawk.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't love it.
Yeah, they do have confirmed it is 1080p 120. Or you can go graphics mode, which is 4K 60. So
Damn.
Yeah, lovely.
Oh,
All right,
this is
Game Bird.
I'm gonna put Fortnite in What's Wrong with You.
What?
Reggie disapproves.
There was gonna be a Fortnite hater somewhere. I knew it was gonna happen.
It's not that I hate Fortnite. Like, I have nothing against Fortnite. I just don't like competitive online shooters. There are very rare exceptions to that, like Splatoon, but Splatoon has a very niche appeal, and it has, you know, the salmon run, and it has the single player. But yeah, I just don't like Fortnite. I have no doubt in my mind that this game is going to run awesome and be fantastic on Switch too, and I'm sure the Joy-Con functionality. But like, listen, I love Bravely Default, and that game landed on Mad Catz. And as someone who just doesn't like Fortnite, I can't bring myself to putting Fortnite higher than Bravely Default when I know I'd get way more fun and enjoyment out of Bravely Default.
you are crazy, man.
Because you're someone who hasn't played it. You don't
And
realize there's more
Bravely Default has a much better storyline than Fortnite. Can we all agree on that?
I mean, by default.
fine.
By default.
By
And
default.
much better boss battles than Fortnite. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
And a much better leveling system. Can we agree on that?
Yeah. Soundtrack too. Yeah.
There we go. See,
I don't know
Art
about the
style?
soundtrack, dude. I don't know. Right now, when I'm
Art
listening
style?
to the John Williams Star Wars theme,
that
I'm,
doesn't,
come on.
that doesn't
You know,
count.
you get into the X-wing.
Original
And
music though.
It's I get it. I know. The reason I'm going to try to defend Fortnite just for a moment is you described it, you know, for what it basically is, right? That third-person shooter, online shooter thing. But that lets me know you haven't played Fortnite because there's racing in the game. There's
No, I have
the-
played.
the-
I have played Fortnite. I played it when it was originally just like the tower defense way back in the day, and then
the
I
OG.
played a bunch of it on Switch when my buddy was playing. It's like, oh, it's actually kind of fun, and it took a lot for him to pull me in because, again, when I think of shooters that I get into, they're either story based or have some level of character progression, like a Borderlands or a Destiny, where I feel like my character is getting stronger and there's a story that I'm completing and boss fights and dungeons and that sort of stuff. When you take out like the RPG mechanics and just make it like a competitive PvP, that's where you lose me. And I don't think there's anything wrong with those games. They're just not for me.
So what he's saying is he's awesome at single player Mario Kart.
Listen, I just risked a giant population of my subscribers by saying I don't like Fortnite. At least I'm being true to myself.
Yeah, I don't think you lost a single subscriber for that take. Just
Nah.
you actually
I
probably
think it's more important to be true to yourself than worry about subscribers.
I get shit on Fortnite, so
But now it's time to do the complete opposite. Honestly, Fortnite's like one of my most hyped games for the Nintendo Switch too. I just got back into it. My Xbox Series X has been actually a game system rather than just a dust collector. And I did a little bit of foreshadowing before, but this is going to be the ultimate way to play Fortnite. You got good graphics frame rate. It's portable, gyro, mouse controls. This is just incredibly hype. S tier, absolutely S tier. And also, one more thing, this is a momentous occasion, breaking out the Mountain Dew Pitch Black. They haven't made these in 2 years, so yeah. To Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Wow. Did you take a sip yet?
No. Let's see when the expiration date was. July 3rd, 2023.
Oh shit.
Let's go.
all right.
Nice. All right. Doing the do. Okay, so let's see. Prime, you gave it an S tier. Eric, you gave it a B. Or should I say Tony Hawk?
Mhm.
Gamebird, you gave it a Reggie, what's wrong with you? And Demet, you're giving it Captain N. So I guess that just leaves me
Captain
here. let me just say this. I have not played Fortnite. I've never played it.
Not surprised.
Yep. Haven't had much of an interest in playing it. However, as I mentioned before, launch time, the launch window, is time for new experiences. Anytime a new console launches, this is when I like to really try out some new stuff. And it's free, right? So there's no entrance fee to get in to try this out. I love that it's going to perform as well as it's going to on Switch 2. Really, there's no better time for me to jump in and try this out. So I am going to be playing it. How I feel about it, I don't know. I'm gonna, because I haven't played it, I can't give it an S tier. I can't. I haven't played it, but I can give it. I can give it a
What's
Tony
your hype
Hawk.
Wow.
My hype level is Tony Hawk.
Okay.
You know, like I think I could end up enjoying it more than I thought. So that is 2 Tony Hawks, which means Fortnite stays where it's at. All right, F-Zero GX. Now remember, split screen. We got online play on the Switch. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And improved resolution. It's got widescreen mode and CRT filter.
Stash is really pushing this game, if you can't tell.
Oh, yeah, I just want to get the facts out there. I've been doing it for all the games. Just want to get the facts
I
out
don't
there.
think we went over
I love
resolution and frame rate and everything for all. Anyways, just want to get the facts out there. I really enjoy F-Zero GX. I'll probably give it a try a little bit on Switch 2 just because I already have the sub, and on top of that, it's got online, which didn't exist back then. It's really all I care about. I don't care about the CRT filters. I mean, the widescreen's nice. I think I think the game's going to end up being right about what I think it is today, and that's in that Tony Hawk tier. It's better than it probably has any right to be today, but I don't think it's anywhere near as good as what like Fast Fusion is. Might not even be as good to me as F-Zero 99, to be completely honest, because that really changed a lot for me. The expectations for future stuff. I didn't really realize I would enjoy Battle Royale F-Zero so much.
It's so much fun. I know.
That is so great. So, and F-Zero GX is amazing. One of my favorite F-Zeros, but it's just retreading old ground, and I can play it online. So Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Okay. You're with that too?
Yeah.
There we go.
It is a remake. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, Game Bird.
Man, this is hard now because like I'm trying not to base it on where others have landed on the list, and it's like hard for me to be like,
Don't do
I
it,
know.
man. Don't give in.
I know. I'm actually gonna put this one. Man,
Don't give in to fear. Fear is the enemy.
Thunderstash is basically admitting it's S tier.
Enemy deserves no mercy.
I'm gonna put this in the wave race tier.
Yes, there you
Yeah,
go.
I think it's a solid A. Listen, yes, Fast Fusion is modern. It's new. It's shiny. It's gonna have all the new bells and whistles. But listen, man, this is a franchise that like fans have been dying for a new entry. So to see one of the most beloved entries make a triumphant return, including those 4K upres, the 60 frames per second, and more importantly, online play, something we've never had in the series ever. If you exclude F-Zero 99, of course. This is a huge win. And hopefully this is a taste of things to come down the road. I'm really excited to play it. Do I think I will play as much of this as maybe Breath of the Wild, Switch 2 edition, or Deltarune? Probably not. But I know when I do play it, it's going to be glorious, and I'm going to love every minute of it.
Here's the thing with F-Zero GX. It's actually my favorite GameCube game of all time.
Nice.
And automatically, it's going to go in S tier. The cool thing about F-Zero GX is that it was the first collaboration between Nintendo and Sega. And I gotta say, Sega is like fire when they come to their arcade games. Because there's also an arcade version of the game called
Totally.
F-Zero AX, which is very similar but has some different physics. I actually got to play the arcade version just a few months ago, which was awesome. This is the first F-Zero game I ever played, F-Zero AX, back in 2014. But history lesson aside, it's one of the best racing games of all time. It's difficult as hell, but it's
That game
super
was tough as nails.
satisfying once you get everything down. It really comes down to track memorization and just learning to maneuver, managing speed in the boosts. It's a phenomenal game. It is, yes, it is maybe too difficult, but that's part of the charm of it. I mean, obviously, no game's perfect, but it's easily my favorite GameCube game and in my top 10 favorite games of all time. The only thing it might have going against it is that this might rule out a remake of F-Zero GX. Thing is, I'm not sure if I mean, it could. Same goes for another game. But even so, I'm so hyped to play this online at 4K. I did not play it at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience because I wanted to play Super Mario Striker since that wouldn't be there at launch, but absolutely Captain N tier, one of the greatest games of all time, and it's great that a new generation will get to play it for the first time. That really
Yeah,
applies
absolutely.
to a lot of these GameCube games, since most of them have never been re-released.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It is really great to see all of these coming out. Okay, so Captain N tier. So for me, I've been with F-Zero since the SNES, since the launch. I've been there day one for every F-Zero game. I remember buying this one. And I remember playing this with my friend Mark. Played it a ton. And it's a tough game. It's a level, it's a difficulty level that I really respect, right? I get enjoyment out of it. Of course, it will put some people off who, don't appreciate that level of difficulty, you could say. For me personally, after playing it at the Switch 2 experience, playing it on widescreen, man, felt good. Felt damn good. I am excited. I'm excited to play this online, dude. So
Yeah,
this is going up there with Captain N.
nice.
There it is. All right.
Rightfully so.
Exactly. Hitman. Okay, remember, this is Hitman World of Assassination. It has Hitman 1, 2, 3, and all the DLC. I have this game on PlayStation VR 2. I have not played it yet. I received a review code for it, and I have not got to it. But let me just tell you, the amount of additional content that I had to download was insane. Like, I even said this in my launch video. Time to 100% it, I think, was like 330 some hours. $59.99.
Okay. I'm still gonna I'm gonna leave it where you said it. You said it in the We Tried tier. I feel like that's where it belongs. Hitman's never really been a huge series for me. I do enjoy it. I'm undecided if I'm gonna end up picking this up. I might wait for a discount, but yeah, I think right there it's gonna be like, it's a nice to have.
So you're not a fan of Hitman?
Not a huge fan of Hitman, no.
Not even Brett?
Okay, well, we're not going there, are we?
That's different type of Hitman.
I mean, it's a Hitman, nonetheless. Brett the Hitman Hart. Just
I know.
okay. All right. Eric, how you feeling?
That would be actually kind of cool if they did.
Right?
Yeah. I haven't really played it. It is kind of a cool thought. So, I mean, I really have no here nor there, so I guess it goes into We Tried.
Okay.
I have no opinion on it either.
So you're gonna go on the We Tried?
Yep.
Okay. Is this so I've never played a Hitman game. Is this the one where it was kind of like a reboot for the series that was regarded for its really good storytelling? Am I remembering correctly? There was like a series of Hitman games that came out that wasn't the the older ones from maybe like 10 years ago.
This
Critics
is
were saying
the
like the
new.
storytelling's really good in it, or the story's really good in it. And
These
it
are
was
the
released in episodes.
Yeah, these are the new Hitmans. Hitman 1,
Yep.
2, 3. It's all the games put together with all of the DLC. So yeah,
Okay.
they're the
Um,
recent ones.
I'm gonna put this in Tony Hawk. I've never played a Hitman. I've heard good things about the story and gameplay in it. I think the fact that they've just packed this package full of content is a huge win. This is the sort of thing that you like to see. So I'm going to put it into Tony Hawk. I think that's awesome. I'd love to try this out someday. Not 100% sure if it's a game that I'd enjoy, but I'm interested enough knowing that everything is all there in one place to bump it up a little bit.
Okay. I'm also going the Tony Hawk tier personally. Again, for the same reasons. It's just chock full of content. I really like the Hitman games. They're a ton of fun. I think it'd be fun and portable play. I like that they added in the Mario and Luigi suits as well, and they added in a golden wrench as a weapon. You know, of course, a plumber's weapon that you can use to assassinate people, which I think is very cool. But regardless, we got voted off the island, Game Bird, because
We did.
this is a we tried, so it stays there. All right, Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, baby, S tier, that sumbitch. Look, I played a significant amount of Hogwarts Legacy on Switch. Didn't beat it because it is a little frustrating. Because of course I've seen it on other systems and be significantly better. And there's just enough frustrations that kind of hit you throughout the Switch 1 experience. And the bottom line is, since I bought it on Switch 1, I only had to spend $10. And for $10 fucking dollars, this Switch 2 version is going to be amazing.
$10 holla.
I might even restart the whole thing all over again, not even worry about transferring my save.
Was this digital or physical?
You can upgrade both. So if you own it physically, you can. There's a spot in the menu within the game where you can upgrade. If you bought it digitally, you can upgrade it on the Nintendo eShop, which I did that. I upgraded digitally. $10.
Yeah. And it's a key card game if you're buying it like brand new physically.
Yeah.
For Switch 2.
All right. So you're going S tier, Eric.
Let's go, man. This one's tough. I think I'm going to put it in Wave Race. Not sure why, but
Fine.
yeah, I think I'm just going to go do that.
Don't worry. I'll borrow it to you and you'll
That's
change
good.
your mind.
Probably.
It's really fun.
I'm going to throw this one in Wave Race. I'll preface that with saying I own this game on PlayStation 5 already.
Yeah.
I have not played it yet. I've never, I got to be honest, I've never read a Harry Potter book and I've never seen a Harry Potter movie in my life. But it seems like the type of game that I would really love. If this is one that I end up when I do dive into the PlayStation 5 version, I could see it ending up being a game that I double dip. That way, maybe I do a second playthrough. I'm not sure how much the story can change based on how you play, but I know from what I remember, you can get assigned to different wizard houses and stuff like that. So if this is one that I like and I'm like, oh man, I want to replay this, I'll definitely pick it up on Switch too, especially for that portable functionality on it. But I think the most I could say is based on what we've seen, the game looks fantastic on Switch too. So
I would have to agree with you there because I haven't seen a Harry Potter movie or read a Harry Potter book, but it looks like a cool game. It's definitely something I'd be interested in playing. So I would say I would probably put it in Tony Hawk tier, but that's only because I don't know anything about the Harry Potter series really. I mean, I know the characters, I know of it, but it's not something I invested myself in. but I'd be down to check out the game at some point.
All right, so for me with Hogwarts Legacy, again, when it comes to the Harry Potter movies, when I was 29, I had to get an emergency appendectomy, and I was managing in the restaurant business. So of course I couldn't lift or anything for like 2 weeks, right? So I was on paid medical leave, and I had never seen the movies. I said, you know what? This seems like a good time to watch these, right? I'm on pain medication. So playing video games, not so much fun, right? You're
Mhm.
probably going to lose a lot of lives playing on pain medication. So I watched all the movies. I bought them on Blu-ray, and they were awesome. They were magical. John Williams scores the first movie. Music is legendary. Of course, John Williams is a GOAT. And really enjoyed the movies. Only saw them once. That's when I saw them. Haven't watched them since. Didn't rewatch them or anything. Bought Hogwarts Legacy on PS5. Loved it. Bought it on Switch for Michaela to give to her. She loved it. She's logged hundreds of hours. And I have it coming on Switch too. I did not beat it on PS5. It got busy. You know how life goes. You end up doing something else. I'm excited to play this on Switch too. This is a great game, in my opinion, to be able to play in handheld mode. Honestly, awesome game. I love it. I'm gonna have to give it an S tier, which means we are at a standstill between Captain N and Wave Race. We're gonna need a coin toss here.
All right, let me get the coin again. All right,
We'll
here
go heads Captain N and tails Wave Race.
All right, let me do this again. Heads.
Heads it is. So we're keeping it where it's at. All right. Next up is by Capcom, and this title is Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess. This is currently available on PC, PlayStation 4. It has favorable reviews. People who have played it really enjoy it. It's only available digitally in the US. There is, of course, the Japan version, but it's a game keycard, and game keycards will not work in America.
Wait, what?
I confirmed that with PlayAsia. I have an email chain with them.
Wait, hold up. So you can't use game key cards because of region locked?
Yeah, from Japan. I have an email chain with PlayAsia because I was thinking about getting a couple of games physically from PlayAsia because they're not available here. And I asked them about that, and they confirmed it. And they're like, yeah, it really sucks because that's going to really hurt our business. I'm like, yeah, like considerably. Shoot. So yeah, $40 though on the eShop. So it's not a full price title. Prime time.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Everything you just said, what's wrong with you?
Okay. Eric Moore.
He's not here.
Okay. If he's not here, we default to a C.
Okay.
Game Bird.
I'm putting this in Wave Race, baby. I've been wanting to play this game since the very first teaser trailer. This game looks right up my alley. I think the art style and the visuals, it has like almost this like watercolor / kaleidoscope, wild stuff. I was so refreshed when I saw this announced from Capcom. So often with modern games, we get stuck on the big IP, you know, all the Resident Evils and the Monster Hunters, and we see a lot of the same, a lot of what works. And seeing this getting released reminded me of like back in the GameCube and PS2 days when companies were taking a lot more risks and coming out with interesting new IP. It had visuals that reminded me a little bit of Konami, a little bit of Onimusha. Before we knew we were getting new versions of those games coming out. it's one that's been on my radar. It's a $40 game. It has great reviews for the most part, and this is just one I'm not sure, because I know this game's on PC. I don't know how it runs on mouse, but this is one. It does have some tower defense like elements and strategy elements. So if mouse mode is something that is supported, which I don't know,
It is.
I'm not sure if it is. Yeah, this is an A, almost an S tier for me. I'm really looking forward to checking this one out, and I'm happy I never picked it up, because this will be an early purchase for me.
Okay. I like it. All right. Demeach.
Ooh. If the fact of the matter is that this is region locked,
Well,
that's really bad.
Yeah, I
That's-
mean, just physically is what I'm saying. It's like you can't buy this physically from PlayAsia and play it
What if
on
you
your.
make a Japanese account?
It's available here on the eShop. It's just the physical aspect of it. And as far as Japanese accounts, you need a Japanese payment method. So,
Ugh.
yeah.
Throw it in the garbage. What is wrong with you?
Okay.
I'm not even that interested in the game, but that's insane. And not in a good way either.
Well, to be fair though, this game doesn't have a physical release on any platform. You know, the Xbox version is all digital, the PlayStation version is all digital, and the PC version is all digital. So the only bonus is that Japan is getting a key card.
Yeah,
But
that's it.
it's not like they took physical away for this release. Not that I'm trying to boost up your score because I'm excited for this. I think it's important. You know, there's a difference when it's physical everywhere else, but
Yeah, it's a
this
good point.
version.
Yeah, no boosting here. I'm gonna stick to my category.
Okay, I'm going to give this a Wave Race 64 tier. I'm excited for it as well. I share the same sentiment as Gamebird. So that means we have a tie again. We have 2 Wave Races and 2 Reggie disapproves. So completely different spectrum. We're going to need a coin toss on this. Demeach, you got that coin for us still?
Dude,
Yeah.
this
Thank
one's
you.
gonna sting.
That coin's
if it
getting a
doesn't
lot of
win.
use.
Yeah,
We're going to have to go, what, heads for Wave Race?
sure.
Heads for Wave Race, tails for the other one. It's heads.
Thank God. Thank God.
Thank God.
Okay.
You guys
Mario
are
Kart
crazy.
World.
Ooh.
Ooh, this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Like, what do I say to a game I think is going to be the greatest Mario Kart that's ever existed?
Well,
No,
you
nine.
Prime, you need to factor in the $80 price tag.
You have to.
But I didn't spend 80.
I don't care.
You still have
You
to.
have to you have to.
Have
Especially when you review the game.
Why am I factoring in money I didn't spend?
Because you're brainwashing your audience. That's why.
I'm brainwashing my audience. Well, look,
Yeah.
anyone in the audience, if you want to throw $80 into consideration because you spent 80, I totally understand that. But I didn't. I spent 50. And I don't have a problem with digital games. So it doesn't bother me. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on my Switch is digital. And I get to borrow this game to my kids and my fiance anytime I want. So I only need 1 copy for the whole fam. So in the end, this is S tier. It would be very hard for this game to disappoint me. It is very hard for a game at Nintendo to spend 8 years in development and then just suck.
But it doesn't have Pink Gold Peach, so maybe it could disappoint you.
I don't care about that. I never played with Pink Gold Peach. So I'm going S tier. I feel like it's going to hold at S tier. I will be very shocked if after I play the game, I'm like, you know what? Nah, man. We got to knock it down a few notches. I truly think it's going to be S tier. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I think reviewed at like a 92 on Switch. I don't know if this is going to review quite as high because I do think that some reviewers are going to knock it down due to the price. But then again, maybe they won't because the game blows them the fuck away because they can't stop playing the addictive Knockout Tour over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So I'm going S tier. I'm sticking by my guns. Call me a little shill all you want. Clip it. I don't give a fuck. I enjoy what I enjoy.
Nintendo, you can send my check over to because we're all paid.
Dude,
by
I'm gonna put
Nintendo.
like 1,000+ hours in this game. I don't think people understand how much
Yeah.
Mario Kart I play when there's a new one. Eric
Yeah.
remembers when it was new on Wii U.
Oh, yeah.
My God, we did not
We
put that
played the
game
shit out of
down
it,
for
yep.
months and months. Yeah.
And then once I put it down, I never picked it really back
well,
up.
you didn't have to because we did everything.
I mean, there's that. No, I agree. S tier. This thing is hopefully going to be feature packed, and yeah, I'm excited for it.
What's it doing in the Tony Hawk tier?
yeah, I don't know what he's Tony.
I just put it in the middle
You
so
just
people
put it
can
in
see it.
there,
Game Bird.
S tier all the way, baby. And that's factoring in the $80 price point, which I do think is a lot to spend for a game.
No,
but
you S tiered it. You didn't consider it.
it's been considered, and I S tier it. I think the game looks amazing. I've heard nothing but glowing praise from the people who have been able, people like Stash, who have been able to go hands-on. A year and a half ago, when I named my top 5 features that I want to see in the next Mario Kart, one of my top features made it into Mario Kart, and that's Knockout Tour. Of course, I didn't call it that, but I'm literally getting one of my most requested features in the game. That being said, the chances of me clocking in more hours in another game by the end of the Switch 2 life cycle is next to zero. Not saying it's impossible. Who knows when we get the next Smash or whatever surprises might land this generation. I'm just saying, based on history, the likelihood is next to zero. This is going to be a game that I play for years and years to come at get-togethers with the kids, with friends, at parties. It's going to be endless fun. And to me, it looks like the best Mario Kart to date. Now, you can make the argument Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has more content. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe not only it includes all the expansion software. You have to compare it to launch Mario Kart 8, and this looks bigger and better than Mario Kart 8 in every way, in my opinion. This is S tier.
Yeah, it's to people that like knock it down. Oh, not as much content as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm like, okay. Well, how long was Mario Kart 8 on the market for? Let's see how much content's in this game when this game's on the market for just as long. Like,
people are comparing it to 2 console generations of Mario Kart with a
so-
re-release and DLC completed. This game looks incredible. That's my thoughts.
Okay. Demeech.
Eric, did you give your thoughts yet?
Yeah.
All right, so I actually got to play Mario Kart World early at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience, and I know everyone's really positive about it. They want it to be an S tier, but being part of the podcast, I'm going to give my full thoughts on it. So I've been waiting for a new Mario Kart game for the longest time. I think that by 2020, that's when I was like, okay, we really need a new Mario Kart now. I can't say the wait's been 11 years since, I mean, you get Mario Kart 8, you're not going to wait immediately for a new game after playing it. But the anticipation was massive. But after playing it, I can say that there are some great things about the game. The demo just did not leave a good first impression, because what Nintendo did is they nerfed the demo where it was only 100cc and it had smart steering forced. You couldn't turn it off. So you couldn't get the full idea of the game. So I'll just start off with the positives first. Knockout Tour is going to be addictive and so much fun. That is easily going to be the highlight I could see for multiplayer. Open world free roam looks like it could be really cool. I am a little concerned that it might be a little bit empty. Like, I wish there was a story tying everything together. Nothing fancy, but just like something like Crash Team Racing does.
Sure.
So it's a bummer. We could have had like Tatanga return from Super Mario Land as the villain just to, have a cohesive reason why we're in this open world. But they're not really doing that. But at least missions are coming back, which is something I've wanted for the longest time. I like how the roster has all the cool, weird, wacky characters. That's really cool. But the thing is, I will say, I'm not expecting 96 tracks, but I did expect at least 48 and all the battle modes to return. Only having coin and balloon battle, that's not great. I wish there were 48 tracks. I'll have to see how 32 tracks, like at launch hold up now? Because the thing is, standards change over the years. Mario Kart games used to have 16 tracks, then it jumped to 32. And I think that with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe being around for almost a decade, I think that set a standard for like at least 48. But really, it's just like, I think it's the price tag. Yeah, it sucks. Everyone's complained about it. I have nothing new to say about it. We'll just have to see what happens if people buy it. We're Nintendo fans. Of course, we're going to buy it. We'll just have to see how the casuals and like other fans or handle it. Like, will they get it? Will they not? Either way, not my concern. It's just the thing is, I think that it feels very similar to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe physics-wise, which is good. Mechanics, definitely going to have some skill involved, which is great. A lot of Mario Kart's luck-based, but having some skill with the rail grinding and wall jumping and finding different routes, that's going to be really cool. Yeah. Did you guys see that reverse tracks are going to be in the game?
Yes.
Yep.
That is a huge addition there, and I think that even with 32 tracks, that's going to add a lot of replayability. It's different than mirror mode because although the tracks have the same theme, reverse really just adds in more depth to them, and it feels like sort of like a new track. Think Super Mario Kart's different route or like different tracks like Mario Circuit 1, Mario Circuit 2. Another thing is that I like the art style of the characters. I love it. I love how animated they are. I love how fun and colorful the game is. But I wish the tracks looked a little more realistic like how Mario Kart 8 did. Because when I saw Mario Kart 8 for the first time, I was just completely blown away. Like, it was mind-blowing. But seeing Mario Kart World for the first time, it looked nice. It looked great. But it didn't have that wow factor that just was like, whoa, this is the next generation. This is insane. It's not quite that. And I wish that they went that route. I don't think that Bandai Namco is working on this game because whenever Bandai Namco works on a Mario Kart game, specifically with their Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix games and Mario Kart 8, they're graphically incredibly impressive. But I think when Nintendo does it in-house, it doesn't have like quite the same wow factor. So really just like my criticisms, the roster is another one. It's cool that we have all the wacky characters, but I'm assuming they're saving characters like Diddy Kong, Funky Kong for like free updates down the line. And I'm not a fan of not having a lot of the fan favorites. I think they could have easily included every Mario Kart character ever playable. That was the direction Mario Kart Tour was going in. It's not like adding a Smash character where, you know, they need a move set. They need to be completely balanced out. It's easier to add a character in Mario Kart. And I think Nintendo could have done it, especially considering how long this game's been in development for. But with all that being said, I'm very much still excited for it. So I'm going to put it in A tier, but I really, really wanted it to be in Captain N. I really wanted this to be the revolution for Mario Kart, like Super Mario Odyssey was for 3D Mario or The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was for Zelda. I think, and another thing, I played those routes between tracks, and it could be because it was just slow, but I did not have a good time with them. I feel like most people are going to play this game either a knockout tour where those transitions actually fare much better, or they're just going to play versus mode like a classic Mario Kart game. But yeah, I'm going to put it in A tier. I just really hope that there's more to the game than we've seen. Because that Mario Kart World Direct did not reveal anything other than the missions.
Okay. Thank you. So, yeah, you know, I played it, the Switch 2 experience. I absolutely loved it. I'm not going to go into detail about it because it's in my video, but we all know I loved it, enjoyed it. I think what we see today from Mario Kart is going to evolve over the course of the console life cycle. This is a true evergreen title. They are going to continue to add new content, which I believe is why we don't have all the characters. It's why we don't have all the tracks. It's why we don't have all the information. We don't have all the battle modes. These are all things that will be drip fed to us throughout the course.
Like,
yeah.
It's been 11 years. You might as well just have most of the content available. And for adding new characters and such, I feel like they could do that to promote their new game.
They can do it. Yeah.
Like new characters and stuff. Like, let's just say Super Mario Brothers Wonder released after Mario Kart World. Like the free update could have Prince Florian. I mean, he wasn't going to be in the game before, but cutting fan favorites like Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Kamek after all he's been through, it just doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I'm just looking at it from Nintendo's perspective, and I think that's the game plan, is that they'll just continue to add new content to it, because that's the definition of an evergreen title. And
Yeah.
Has Nintendo ever done a really good job with a live service game? Like, have they ever supported one consistently at launch that had enough content? Because they've been kind of notorious for releasing games with sometimes a satisfactory amount of content, but not quite much, or just sometimes where it's completely barren, like Mario Strikers Battle League.
I
Mario
think they
Kart.
did a pretty good job with the Splatoon games, adding
I was thinking Splatoon as
new
well.
maps and new gear.
I'm
the Splatfest and
just
stuff.
literally going to say Mario Kart 8.
yeah, Mario Kart 8, Smash
They
Brothers.
They launched with the same amount of content they've always had before, and then they had a DLC pack. And then when they brought it over to Switch 2, they completely swapped out the multiplayer and added all new multiplayer aspects of the game, and then literally did a whole nother DLC pack again. So like that's a consistently supported game over 11 years.
I feel like that was definitely a good way, or everything added was great, even with my reservations about the booster course pass. I just think that it was like spread out extremely far between, because we didn't get anything for 5 years until the booster course pass. But I do see where you're coming from there.
But we did get insight onto that because Mario Kart World was supposed to be
World
a
was
Switch
supposed
game.
to come on the Switch. Yeah, that's why they weren't originally planning to do DLC for that game on Switch. They were
Right.
going to do World.
Yeah, they
I
didn't
kind of have a
decide
feeling-
until 5 years into it that they were going to do DLC, which is
I
why
kind
we
of
didn't
have
get
a feeling
anything.
with the booster course pass that the thing is, like, Mario Kart Tour release, that game did okay, but it didn't do as well as Nintendo just would have thought it did. The game launched without multiplayer, so I see why, and it had some like horrible microtransactions, some of the worst, if not the worst, I've ever seen. So maybe they thought, okay, we're not going to be able to release a new Mario Kart game because the Nintendo Switch just can't handle it. Why not bring over the content from Tour, which it's not a flop, but it's not exactly a hit either. Just bring that over, make DLC. It was a great idea. It was a perfect thing for the time.
Mm.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think that with Mario Kart World, it's going to be interesting seeing how they support it. And do you guys think the DLC will be paid, or you think it's all going to be free updates?
You know, we'll have to see, right? Only time will tell if that $80 price tag has content baked in, right? We just we don't know. Literally only time will tell.
Yeah.
I think it all just depends on how the masses react to it. We don't know how it's going to happen yet.
Yeah.
We really don't. So for me, given my experience with it, how excited I am, I've said it before. The last Mario Kart came out in my 20s, and now I'm in my 40s. So it's been a long ass time. I'm very excited. And again, I look at the simple math equation that I do for any video game, and I do in all my reviews, really, is if we want to talk about price, we can. That's fine. Nobody's happy about the $80 price tag. But again, say you're going to play it for 1,000 hours. That's not going overboard. I might play it more. $80 divided into 1,000 is 8 cents per hour for entertainment. You can't find that anywhere else. And again, that's why video games are such a great deal for entertainment to begin with. So for me, I give it an S wholeheartedly. I'm very excited for it. I'd be surprised if a month later I feel different, but if I do, it'll be in my review. So S tier it is. Okay, Nobunaga's Ambition. This game was recently added to the launch lineup. It's a strategy game. These games were originally on Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. The originals can actually be played on the NSO right now, if anyone is interested in seeing what this is all about. And if you have the Switch 1 version, you can upgrade to the Switch 2 version for free. I found that out when I was doing research for my launch video, which seems that information is nowhere outside of what I found. Prime time.
Yep. Let's see which game is it again. Sorry, I'm trying to see what it is. Okay.
Nobunaga's Ambition.
Yeah, Nobunaga's Ambition. That'll be the one that I totally butchered pronouncing it in my video. people got so mad at me. It is a kind of game I like. I still don't know if I'm going to pick it up. I feel like I should pick it up.
Are you feeling ambitious?
I'm feeling a little ambitious. I'm going to go Tony Hawk with this one.
Okay.
In fact, I'm actually going to look it up right now. I need to get this thing bought.
Eric.
I have no clue about this game, so I'm going to just chug it right in the middle.
Okay.
Real-time strategy game.
I realize that I've watched a little bit of YouTube on it, and I still have never heard.
Still have no idea what's going on.
Still had no idea. Never heard of this game. So yeah, right smack dab in the middle.
All right. Game Bird.
I'm gonna keep it where it's at. This is one that I might pick up. It's a weird nerdy thing. I am a huge Nobunaga fan. He is one of my favorite. Obviously, he's a real historical figure from Japan. Very fascinating character. But he's actually one of my favorite video game characters as well, featured in tons of video games. And one of my favorite series of all time that, praise the Lord, is making a triumphant return. Onimusha. He was the central villain of the original Onimusha series. My big gripe with this one is there's a Nobunaga's Ambition game that is amazing. That's Nintendo themed. It's Pokemon cross Nobunaga's Ambition. It was on the DS, and it mixes feudal Japan with Pokemon. And it is rad. Check that one out. It does like all the really cool sprites. It's awesome. And probably one of the pricier DS games, to be honest, because I think that ended up being a rare gem. But bummed that's not the game that's coming over, because it needs to be on Switch too. But this one is definitely a pickup for me. So I like where it's at. It's not an amazing release or announcement, but it's cool enough to make the Tony Hawk category.
Okay. Demetri, how you feeling on it?
I would just say I've not heard of this series before, so we're going to put it in We Tried. At least for me.
We tried. For me, I am not at all excited for it. But I'm not going to crap on it, so I'll give it a We Tried. And that is 3 We Trieds to 2 Tony Hawks. So
fuck,
it's gonna go down there. Nobunaga and the Hitman.
God damn it! What? I was trying to find the physical version. I can't. So just because of that, fuck you. I'm buying it right now digitally.
Well, he appreciates your ambition.
God.
Game Bird, by the way, they talk about Nobunaga in Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh, do they?
They do.
Very cool. Dude,
yeah, that was pretty cool.
I love Nobunaga.
Okay. Next one is Ridge Racer.
It's Ridge Racer. Cue the crickets.
Is this a Nintendo 64 one?
No, it's Arcade Archives 2. So it's Arcade Archives' new series that's starting with Ridge Racer. Arcade Archives 1 was on Switch 1 and PlayStation. So this is their launch of their 2 line, which means we're going to get, we're getting games like Ridge Racer instead of Pac-Man. Prime time.
Ridge Racer. Here's the thing. I'm probably not really going to play much of it. So I'm going to go with We Tried.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Mad Cats. Nothing against Ridge Racer. I can't stand to just have everything sitting above Bravely Default. It's blasphemous. It is hurting me as we go through all of these. But here's the other part of it is like, I don't have a lot of nostalgia for Ridge Racer, and between Mario Kart World and F-Zero GX, and we've got Kirby Air Riders
Fast Fusion.
coming out, Fast Fusion, thank you. I just don't see myself playing this one. Maybe someday out of like curiosity just to go back and play it, but I have my fill of amazing racers, and just since I don't have like the strong nostalgia for Ridge Racer other than that famous E3 moment that was super awkward.
Yeah, it's the best ever.
It's so good. I don't know. It's for me, it's Mad Cats.
Okay. Demetch.
Ridge Racer looks interesting. I might want to try that out. Now that they're doing an Arcade Archives too, I'm really hoping that they include the Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix games. That'd be awesome.
That would be.
Like they could even do it like part of the GameCube Nintendo Classics app, because it's kind of running on the same hardware.
Yeah, it's the Triforce, right?
Yeah, Triforce. It's pretty much a modified GameCube, which is why you can play the games on your Wii. I would say we tried, just because I'm interested in playing it.
Okay.
But also, when you mentioned E3 awkward moments, I would say still nothing really tops Nintendo's E3 2008. That's still legendary.
The Wii music?
The Wii music, the Shaun White fake laughing, Ravi drum, it was incredible. I wish they did something like that again.
I miss those days, dude. Those were the best. You could always count on awkward moments at E3. Okay, so you're going to give it a we tried. So, Prime and Eric, you gave it a we tried? I think it's probably going to be probably we tried. I'm going to be reviewing it, but probably we tried. So, yeah, that's where we're land. Right where it's at. Okay, Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma. So, not just farming. There are RPG elements in this game, like legit ones from everything I've gathered. Seems like the most ambitious Rune Factory game yet. $59.99 or no, $69. $69?
Gonna go with we tried.
Okay. Eric.
$59.99.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go with we tried because I don't play these games at all. So
there you go. We tried, motherfucker.
Gamebird.
We tried. Yeah, not much to say. I rarely play games like this.
We tried.
For me, personally, I'm not hyped for it. I think it's going to do pretty well. It might be a hit for some people, but ultimately,
we tried.
We tried. Yeah, we tried. Okay. Sonic Shadow Generations. Now, again, let me preface this for everybody. If you own it on Switch 1, there is no upgrade path.
Yeah, you have to read
the
whole thing.
Now, it's $50, and this is a good value proposition because you're getting Sonic Generations and you're getting Shadow. You're getting 2 games. I reviewed this on PS5. I really enjoyed it. As far as double dipping goes, though, that's just how I'm looking at it from a double dip point of view. So, Prime, where you at on this?
So I was gonna go with What's Wrong With You, but I did decide to wear the Sonic hat today. So we're going to Mad Cats. Not because it's a bad game. They're not bad games. I am just so really against like the Switch version has a few performance issues and you're repackaging. I get it. You're adding another game in, but we've seen enough of these third-party companies offer these $10 paths to getting the new versions of the game that them not doing that to me is a huge turnoff that ensured I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You there too, Eric? You're at
Yep.
Mad Cats?
Yeah, that just kind of is obnoxious on that no upgrade path and stuff like that. Yeah, it's
You're lucky I'm
dumb.
wearing the Sonic hat, Sonic.
Feels like horse shit, doesn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
It feels kind of almost like Bravely Default, where it just
Yeah.
we're gonna put in a little effort and then here buy it again.
Yeah, as if they thought
We're
it
idiots.
was going to sell well by default
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keeps going bad to them.
because
Yep.
it's a launch title.
Yep.
Honestly, I think for Nintendo, they can get away with some scummy stuff, but I think it's going to be harder for Sega.
I'm
do
putting this
too.
in what's wrong with you. Listen, I say that as I've got tons of Sonic crap you can't see in my game room. I love Sonic. To this damn Zoom, I'm gonna smash something.
Oh, you were trying to show off.
I gotta turn that thing off. But let's be honest. Sega struggled to put out a top tier 3D Sonic game, which is wild because Sonic is still Sega's mascot. You'd think they'd put the best of the best. You'd think they'd treat it the same way Nintendo treats Mario. It's wild to me. That's a whole separate conversation for another time, another video. The no upgrade path really, really stings. It's a really bizarre choice. So I'm sure this is one that, I'll probably get around to picking up and playing because I do enjoy Sonic games. But it just stings. And I don't know. Again, the 3 Sonic games already aren't amazing. And I can't in good conscience put this on the same caliber as Bravely Default. So it's going into what's wrong with you.
Fair enough.
Come on, guys.
All right,
You know,
Dimitri.
I do enjoy Sonic games to an extent. I have a good friend, Riders DX, who is a Sonic fan. That was the guy who we were partying with, Nintendo Prime. And I always joke about it, but I do enjoy Sonic games. Not as much as Mario, but there's still a good time. And the thing is, Sonic X Shadow Generations is a great game, but it not having an upgrade available, it just ruins it. I'm leaning
Absolutely.
towards What Is Wrong With You and Mad Catz territory. I would say no. I would actually say What's Wrong With You because you can't upgrade. And the thing is, I'm sure people already double dipped getting the Nintendo Switch version because there are people out there who will get it just because it's portable. The only saving grace I could think of is not even a guarantee. Maybe it'll just backfire in Sega's face and they'll be forced to actually provide upgrades or they'll be on sale. But no, it's not a good thing.
Yeah. Okay, I hear you guys on that. So for me personally, this is, this is a what's wrong with you, man.
Yeah.
This is horse shit. It should have an upgrade path. I bought it on PS5. I don't own it on Switch. I have no reason to pick it up, though. I played it. I beat it. I played it thoroughly before I reviewed it. So I did a lot of the extra stuff, too. I have just zero reason to return. I will say, however, for everybody in chat, if you've never played it, right, you don't own it, I think it's a good value, very good value at $50 for everything you get because you're getting 2 games and there's a lot of content there and a lot of unlockables. So if you are a Sonic fan, I do think they're good Sonic games. Sonic Generations is very good. The Shadows game was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So I can recommend it based on that. However, I cannot recommend any form of double dipping. I just don't, I don't see any reason in it. And again, if you own it on Switch, I would not buy it on Switch too. I think it's horseshit. There's no upgrade path. So that is 3 Fs to 2 Ds. So we're going to go, what's wrong with you tier, Reggie? Sonic the Hedgehog, man. First one over there.
All right, Sonic. You're off. Get off my head.
You know what's wild? The best modern Sonic game is Sonic Mania, and Sega's done with that team. How jacked is that?
I know.
I don't
it's so bad.
understand that at all because Sonic Mania
Wild.
it was one of
That
the
game
best selling and what the best received Sonic
Unbelievable
in the
game.
longest. You know how they followed it up? They followed it up with that Sonic Superstars game, which is essentially sort of the new Super Mario Brothers U of the Sonic series.
Totally. Great
Like,
comparison.
how the hell do you go from Sonic Mania, which has so much love, charm, and passion put into it,
And
to
the
just
beautiful pixel
Sonic
art.
Superstars, which is just, it's not even a bad game. It's just painfully mediocre.
Yeah, they actually went on to make Penny's Big Breakaway, a lot of the Sonic Mania team, which is a game I reviewed on my channel, and it feels like Sonic. It's awesome. They got the same guy too to do the soundtrack. Excellent game. All right, Soul Calibur 2. Online play now. Widescreen. Obviously upscaled.
Not a big fighting game guy. Never have been, but I did play Soul Calibur 2 back in the day. The online play alone, combined with my boy Link.
Yeah, Linkovich.
Oh, buddy, we're going Tony Hawk because I will play this.
Yeah. Okay, we'll sit it there for now. Eric.
Yep, that's exactly where I was going to put it.
Okay. Gamebird.
I'm throwing this one in Wave Race. I used to love Soul Calibur. I was disappointed in the most recent entry. Soul Calibur 2 is by far my favorite entry in the series. Obviously, Link is a huge part of that. He was a ton of fun to play. But Soul Calibur 2 in general was just fantastic. Even across the board, adding Spawn in the Xbox version and who was it? Heihachi in the PS2 version.
Yeah,
just
from
really cool. Just a fantastic fighting game. My two mains were Link and Raphael.
Nice.
I'm very excited to check it out. It's one of the few GameCube games that I didn't end up picking up. I got most of them, fortunately, before everything skyrocketed. But having Link, that's really cool. It looks like a fun game. I love how Nintendo back in the GameCube era would do the weirdest crossovers. I mean, this one makes sense, but do you remember the crossovers they did with EA where they had Mario, Luigi, and Peach and SSX on Tour 3 and NBA Streets V3 where they're playing with realistic characters? It's crazy.
Yeah. Miss those days. So what are you giving it?
I'm going to say Tony Hawk.
Okay. So for me personally, I love Soul Calibur 2. Absolutely love it. I owned Soul Calibur on Dreamcast on day one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. Amazing game, great soundtrack. I had, a story mode to it. There was a lot more to it than just being an arcade port, which was a big deal back in the day when it came to fighting games. And then Soul Calibur 2, of course, took it to the next level. GameCube one being the best one. I am very excited for it. My mains, yes, I like Link a lot. Cervantes is my guy.
So fun.
My guy. Yeah. Love it. I would give it a Wave Race tier. So I would give it an A, but we are outvoted. We were voted off the island on this one, Gamebird. So it's staying right there with Tony Hawk, but I think everyone's going to really love this game.
All
right. Split Fiction, $50. Do we even want to say anything about the physical edition? Do we want to mention that it comes on a scratcher?
Yeah, it's a game key card.
So it's not even a game. It's not even a game key card, right? It's a
digital
scratcher card in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. The worst type of physical.
The digital code.
Yeah.
In the box.
So
the greatest offender.
Here's the thing. Okay. I have this ordered. The not even fake physical, the scratcher. Now the reason that I have it ordered that way instead of just going straight digital is just so I can on stream show the difference on the boxes on what they say on them. So it's really the only. I'm never buying another scratcher Switch 2 game. It's not happening. But I was planning to buy this game regardless. So I figured, if I'm buying it regardless, and it's a digital game, and I'm having a digital either way. I guess I'll have the box so I can show it to people. But I don't really care. I'm never going to do that again on Switch 2. That was just for the channel purposes. That being said, Split Fiction, it's one of the highest review games of the year. And that team, Joseph Ferris, oh my God. Everything they make is gold. and I haven't played it. And guess what? It supports game share,
which is great.
so I can literally play this with my fiance on her. She can play on her own thing on the big projector and play it right with me. This is amazing. This is like the amount of support they're giving to this. They're letting you like share this with multiple people without having to buy extra copies. Yes, this is awesome. And I'm sure if Joseph Ferris got to make the decision, he doesn't self-publish. EA publishes. It'd be a physical game.
I am too.
He seems like a guy that likes physical, but unfortunately, his studio is published by EA, so EA makes the decisions. So I'm not going to hold that against the game. I will hold it against EA, but EA is going to EA. It is what it is. So I'm very excited to dive into this for my first time, play it with my wife, maybe even end up playing with some of you guys at some point. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, Eric.
Yep, I am looking forward to this one. If it's anything like It Takes Two, which hell yeah.
So where do you guys put this then?
I'm gonna go Wave Race.
I'm going up.
You're going for the S tier?
Yeah,
Eric. I'm going Wave Race tier.
Okay.
I would say,
I'm going Wave Race. I wish I could say S tier, but we've sat here and factored in the key card stuff and the digital only with every other game. And I feel like out of the fairness for my previous rankings, I have to include that here.
Yeah.
That being said,
cool.
My hype for the game is S tier. It Takes Two is one of the most fun local 2-player platforming experiences that I've ever had in my life, period. It's one of those things where it's like Nintendo's so known for being the pinnacle of multiplayer platforming games, and a lot of games they just don't quite hit that same level. This felt like straight up something that like the top tier Mario team would come up with. I'm sure it sounds like Split Fiction is up there, if not even better than It Takes Two. So if it's as good as people are saying, like that's S tier hype level for me. But again, factoring in the digital only, I'm going to put it in Wave Race tier.
Yep. Actually, then, yeah, that's a good point. I will modify mine down to Wave Race.
Okay.
I definitely like having more local multiplayer games, so I would say Wave Race tier. I did not play the original It Takes Two, but considering what you guys are saying, this is really fun. It seems really cool.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then so for me, Michaela and I have been playing it on PS5. We're like halfway through, and so far I'm absolutely loving it. Yeah, the whole physical stuff kind of sucks. There's a lot of things you factor into that. I think it's 70 gigabytes, so 64 gig cart. What are they going to leave off, right? I mean, it's not like they can leave off a certain mode. So I think they kind of had to do this anyways. So I'm not going to factor that into it. Me personally, I do think it is a game of the year type game. I really do. I think everyone's going to love it. I would give it an S tier. I think it's huge that it's here. But I am the odd man out. So Wave Race 64, still a great tier.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Street Fighter 6, Fighters 1 and 2 edition.
Okay. What's wrong with you, tier? I'll explain it real quick. Nothing wrong with Street Fighter 6. I'm not a big fighting game fan, but that's not why it's down there. The Capcom's pulling to Capcom. When you buy the game physically, there's a separate download code for the extra content, and it's a one-time use code, meaning that even though it's a key card, it loses half its value the moment you buy it, because when you resell it, you can't resell the DLC. And that DLC has characters on the damn box art. So you could potentially resell this back to a friend online, to a retailer, and there's characters on the box art they can't play with without spending more money. So I am very anti against that. Capcom pulls this shit all the fucking time. And I don't know why, because they don't do this with other franchises, but with Street Fighter, they always do it. So I just, nope. I'm good.
Ugh.
Yeah, fair point.
I think that Nintendo needs to have like some regulation when it comes to this because, I mean, game key cards are one thing, but then doing stuff like this, it's gonna piss a lot of people off.
Yeah.
And it also like causes confusion with the consumers.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, where you at?
Man, I don't really play a whole lot of these types of games, but so I would put it at we tried. But with what Nate said, Jesus Christ, that's an absolutely ridiculous. So I'll put it down at Mad Cats.
Okay. Game Bird.
I've got to agree with Nate, man. I'm putting it in the what's wrong with you. I that's such an anti-consumer decision. You know, people like to complain about price hikes and stuff, but this is much more egregious. Also, on top of that, I have Street Fighter 6 on PS5. I've played my fair share of the game. It's not really one that I'm playing anymore, so I don't really see a reason for me to double dip. But I mean, you know, if you can overlook those things and you're a Switch only player, you know, and you don't trade in games, you know, this might be a great one for you to pick up. But for me, that sole decision to lock out characters as a one-time download code, that's brutal.
That's horrible.
I could understand it if this was a full physical game and they just couldn't fit it all on the cart, and so they offered the DLC as a download code in the box. But that's not the case. It's a key card. There's no reason to do this.
I would say that really I would put it in B tier if it weren't for that. It seems like something I'd be interested in playing. But no, I'm gonna go with what's wrong with you.
Okay.
It sucks too because like there was so much hype for this, and then
It looks great.
It instantly died for me the moment that came out. I'm like, are you serious? Like, even if I was planning to go all digital with it, now it's like, dude, I can't even support this shit.
So for me, I'm still excited for it.
Yeah.
You know, you just focusing on the game, right? The gameplay.
Your games, anyways.
Right, there is that too.
Yeah, not factoring in the bullshit with that, which I do agree it's complete bullshit. But that's not going to change the gameplay and how much fun I have with the game. Like that's not factored in, right?
I just realized something.
What?
It's the first Switch 2 game that is both a digital key card and a scratch off.
Yeah. Collector's item.
Is this essentially like the Sega 32X CD equivalent of today?
I forgot to mention that digital code, it's only good for 2 years. It expires in 2027.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wait, really?
Brutal.
Yeah.
So, you know, my thoughts on this is that like I'm not ranking this based on how they've dropped the ball with the physical version of it, right? So if I bought this digitally, none of this would even matter. So I look at it that way. I'm still just as excited. Yes, all the other stuff's bullshit, but from a gameplay standpoint, I'm hyped. I would give it probably a Wave Race 64 tier because it's that good of a game. But I am most certainly the odd man out, and the overriding, it's three Reggies, one Mad Cats to one Wave Race. So this is definitely going.
And I will say, like, even despite that anti-consumer practice, Street Fighter 6 is an amazing fighting game. Me personally, I played a ton of it on PS5. I haven't touched the game in a while, and I just don't see a reason for me personally to double dip, knowing I'll probably be moving on to, the next big thing, whenever that is.
That's fair. I totally get it. All right. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster. This came out on Nintendo Switch March 6th. Came out on Switch and PS5. If you own it on PS1, there is not an upgrade path. It's $50. So, how do you feel about it?
Um, so I've never played these, so I don't have a huge opinion on it. So I'll just go with the we tried.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you.
I'm gonna go Tony Hawk on this one. The Suikoden series is always one that I've wanted to get into. I know Suikoden, I think it's 4 is the one that's like the really highly regarded one in the series. But I'm a big RPG guy. I love RPGs. I have tons of nostalgia for, that golden era from SNES and PS1 days, and even up to the PlayStation 2 was totally a golden era for RPGs. So this is one that's definitely on my radar. Again, never got to play them. Highly interested. So I'm going to put this in the Tony Hawk tier.
Okay, Demeech.
I would say we tried. It's not a series I'm familiar with at all.
Okay. For me again, I'm gonna be the odd man out here. This is an easy Captain N S tier. Suikoden 1 and 2 are absolutely amazing. Suikoden 2 is regarded as the best one in the series.
Okay, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Suikoden games in general are great. These are two of the most legendary 2D JRPGs ever. You will almost always find them on an intelligent top 25 JRPG list. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be near the top 5 to 10.
Stash,
yeah,
butt me to
go-to.
Wave Race. Yeah, butt me to Wave Race. You sold me. Again, I love RPGs. It's possibly my favorite genre of games. And I have so much
Same here.
love and nostalgia from where this genre kind of got its roots. And I know because I've watched stuff on Suikoden years ago in the past and always wanted to dive in this series. Just one I've never gotten around to. But you kind of sold me on this one more. I was already hyped. I just have never played them, so
totally worth it. Let me just say this for everybody. So this is not available physically in the United States on Switch 2. It's available physically on Switch 1, but not Switch 2. Currently, and I mentioned this in my launch video, you can pick it up on Switch 2 right now on the eShop for 20% off. So you can get it for $40. Two of the best RPGs really ever remade in HD. Again, it only came out, by the time Switch 2 comes out, it'll be 3 months, only 3 months old. So yeah, $20. That sale goes off on June 3rd. So you'd have to get it obviously before Switch 2 comes out. So if you want two of the best RPGs ever made waiting for you on Switch 2, you can get it for $40. So I gave it S, you gave it A. Overriding is a C. We tried for the two of the best RPGs of all time.
Look, I'm sure it's a phenomenal game. I just have never played it.
Yeah, exactly. That's just
guys. I'm just giving you a hard time. I know you can't.
I just
can't
want
rank this higher if you've never played.
I just want to remind everyone that somehow Bravely Default landed in Mad Cat.
What's wrong with you?
Don't ask me how, but somehow that happened.
Okay, here's one that I know everybody's been waiting for us to talk about, and that's Survival Kids.
What's wrong with you? I kept you even included this on the list. That's wrong. The funny thing is, you included this, but not Fantasy Life, which is recently announced to be a launch game.
Well, it was just it was announced after I made the list.
It was like today.
We're gonna talk about it though at the end.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm going. What's wrong with you? Survive. I tried. Okay, I watched things. I just no.
But
no.
Let me ask you this: Do you think kids will like it?
No,
because that's obviously what it's aimed towards.
No,
that's brutal. When you can sit there and be like, kids will not like this. That's when you know.
No,
that's when you know there's a problem.
It's just no. I mean, my kids are a little older, maybe, so like maybe that could be the thing where they wouldn't be into it. But I'm like, I've literally watched and watched and watched. I'm like, I think the art style is okay at times, but for the most part, no. I don't think anyone's even going to buy this game.
What's crazy is there's a chance that someone in chat tonight, this is their most anticipated.
Oh no,
game.
no. It's
That is a possibility.
It'll be their S tier game, and now I lost them as a subscriber, and they're gonna start making hate videos about me, telling me a piece of shit for not liking a game they like. You know,
Eric.
I don't know. I actually kind of thought it looked pretty interesting.
That's fine. You've been agreeing with my opinions like the last 5
No,
games.
I know.
Be your own man.
Well,
S tier that bitch.
I'm not going to ask you it.
It's as good as Mario Kart. Let's go.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'd give it we tried, if not a little bit more. I honestly think it looks like it could be interesting with some of the different puzzles and stuff that you could go through. I don't know. I don't hate it.
So what are you gonna go? A C or a B? A we tried or a Tony Hawk?
We tried.
All right. Game Bird.
I was rewatching the trailer for it. Oh my gosh.
No.
I mean, for me personally, this is a what's wrong with you. The more practical side of me wants to put it at Mad Cats, but then I saw that Bravely Default is in Mad Cats.
Yeah,
so
I know.
like,
You are not gonna let that go.
I can't put it above Bravely Default. I just can't.
so it's going in what's wrong with you. And if anyone puts it above Bravely Default, wait, did you, Eric?
I did.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
with the
You've got
caveat,
problems,
I'm
dude.
actually probably not going to buy it. So, I mean, it looks to me, it looks like it could be interesting.
They could send me a code and I'll just give it away.
Fair enough.
I gotta say,
Oh,
I
man.
mean, gaming's an acquired taste, and Survival Kids is like the durian of gaming. It is easily in Captain N with its crafty puzzles, collection of materials. This is truly going to be one of the greatest games of our generation that will be remembered for generations to come.
Dude, watch me be so
No.
wrong with this and it blows up and I have like 15 million.
I don't know. Okay.
And I'm like, what?
Obviously, I don't actually think that. I looked at the trailer and it kind of seems like a little bit above shovelware. Have you ever seen the game? I think it's
don't
called
think it's
Carnival Games. It's also on the Switch.
Yes.
I thought it could have been like fun,
Hey,
but it's one of the worst looking games I've ever seen in my life.
they sponsored me. We had a good time for one video, and I never played it again.
Carnival
I
game.
gotta see that video, but I
Bro,
don't
the
think
ones
it's
that sent me
necessary.
the full package.
Yeah,
We were all in
remember
pajamas
that
and they
one.
sent us snacks. They bribed me
Yeah, they
to
did.
have fun.
Yeah,
We
they
did have fun, and then literally never played it again.
What if
Alright,
it was like a Red Bull party where you got free drinks for playing it?
But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Red Bull.
I mean, yeah, but Carnival Games. The thing is, it doesn't look like a complete shovelware game. I mean, there's definitely an audience for it. It's not me. It's not any of us, really. But putting it in the same category is what's wrong with you with an upgrade that you can't upgrade unless you double dip, and the crap that's Street Fighter 6 with a digital download and key card. I'm going to have to say Mad Cats. It's a game I have zero interest in, but it's not horrible.
I would not say it's shovelware. I would just say that it's.
Oh no,
I'm
it's
not
not
exactly
really shovelware.
sure who it's for, but there
This
is
is-
an audience for it. I just don't
Well,
know.
it's for kids just trying to
Well, I
survive
mean,
out there.
they-
Obviously.
I'm even thinking of kids, like they could play Minecraft or something, and they'd probably
This
have
is
more fun.
preposterous. This is
Or it's
preposterous.
for kids that are fans of the TV show Survivor.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
Oh, that's
My kids don't even know what that show is.
You know, I also obviously I have zero interest in this. I think if they would have kept it Lost in Blue, which is what the series was here in the States,
Yeah.
I think that would have generated some more interest because people are familiar with it in a niche way. But
Nope,
You know-
rebrand, and it still wasn't that great. The original series, yeah, no.
it's $50, which is like it
Stash.
seems way overpriced. Like this
Well,
seems like
not.
This should be like a welcome tour price, and then maybe I'd be like, you know what? Oh, we tried then.
I would say instead of the Nintendo Switch 2s, just give away like How many copies? Yeah, just give away a bunch of copies of this game.
This should be the packing game. Clearly, that's how important this game is.
Thunderman, you better choose wisely right
I'm
here.
gonna have to go
Because-
with what's wrong with you.
Thank God.
Actually,
Because two of you tonight voted that Survival Kids is on the same page as Bravely Default. Two of you.
no, it deserves.
Let's move on. We have
There's
five.
no. It
Actually,
was
you know
Demeach,
what?
and you, Eric.
You know, he's got a
Both-
point. He's got a really good point. So what I would do is, so it's not on the same caliber, just put Bravely Default and What's Wrong with You. Because Sonic X Shadow's a good game. Bravely Default's still a ripoff. And the thing with Survival Kids is like, I mean, I would say Nintendo Prime, you could give it away to the Nintendo Switch 2 haters. That way they can actually have a game that they can enjoy. That's what they really want to play.
All right. What's up? Welcome tour
Yeah, $10 holla.
should be free.
Mm-hmm.
Should be
It's gonna
packed.
funny.
Now, keep in mind they named this very poorly and marketed it very poorly. I think if they would have named it something else besides Switch 2 Welcome Tour, it wouldn't have created such an uproar. But because they named it the way they did and marketed it the way they did, they screwed themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, no matter what they named it, the game is literally like a tutorial that also has a bunch of fun mini games. So it's like introducing you to aspects of the hardware of Switch. This should be included and packed in. That being said, the funny thing is, I think I'm going to end up having a lot of fun with it, and that's the problem. Is
it a problem? Is it a problem to have fun?
No, it's not a problem to have fun. It's a problem that I don't like supporting a game that should be packed in. But I already bought it because I watched your preview on it, and I'm like, oh my fucking God, that looks so fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Problem. And that's the problem. I don't want to support this. So because of that, I'm going wave race. I can't go S tier. I can't. I think I'm going to have so much fucking way more fun than I have any right to be having, and all the bitching, and I'm going to keep complaining it's not packed in, and I'm going to do nothing but smile the whole time I play. So
I like that explanation.
I feel dirty is what I'm saying right now. It feels wrong.
You put that in
Well,
wave.
sometimes it feels wrong, man.
That's
you know?
interesting. That is interesting.
I have a feeling it's not going to stay away from
I'm gonna go. We tried.
That's
They tried and failed with the description of this game.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
It could be a good game, but they tried and failed on that one, so I put it in we tried just because of that fun pun.
All right.
Game Bird, where you at?
He's having a hard time over there.
You guys have forced my hand.
What's wrong with you?
Two completely different. What?
Listen, oh man, I'm gonna be the negative Nancy. I'm gonna put this in what's wrong with you. I think this should have been a pack-in title. I don't disagree that this game could be fun. I think if this was something that was included with the expansion pass, it definitely would help at the very least.
Yeah.
But again, like I don't typically buy too many in my in my life as a gamer games that are just like a small collection of mini games. Usually, even though it's a cheap price point, I don't know if I'm going to get more than one day of entertainment. And not that $10 is obviously well worth a day of entertainment. You spend more than that just to go see a movie, which is only, an hour and a half of entertainment. So I'm not saying it's not worth it.
That's if it's a good movie.
Right. Right. If it's a good movie, which, half the time it isn't.
Yeah.
So
Hollywood's not exactly putting out bangers these days.
You're putting the game where it should go. I put the game where I think I'm going to have too much fun, and that is stupid. That I'm going to have.
I just think the branding is awful. The fact that it's not a pack-in is awful. And yeah, I think it might be a novel thing, but it's just unless you guys pick it up, and I know you got the demo at Stash, and you guys have both been playing it for a week, and you can't put it down. You're like, dude, I'm telling you, do not sleep on
Fucking
the Nintendo
addicted.
Switch
My
2
kids are
Welcome
We
Tour.
fight
It's
over
like,
it.
okay, I've got to check this out. Right now, I feel like, maybe if it's ever on a sale for like $2.99, I'll grab it. But
$3.99.
That's the break point. $2.99.
So you're giving it an F, right?
Yeah, F tier.
Yeah.
Reggie? Okay.
Sorry,
Where you
guys.
at, Demeach?
I actually got to play it too at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience. Okay, I have the same thought everybody does about it being $10. It should not be $10. But I also have another issue with the game. It would have been so much cooler if it had the Miis. It has the skeleton of the Nintendo charm, but that's it. It's the same problem with Nintendo Switch Sports in terms of lack of personality. Although with that game, that has a lot more problems other than the lack of Miis. Whereas this, it's mostly just the lack of Miis and the $10 price point. It's something that I would put in Mad Cats because there are cool things about it. But it's like, what the hell is Nintendo thinking? That's crazy. Also, at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience, I don't even think that it was on a TV with 120 frames per second. Or actually, maybe it was. I'm not. Or, I don't know.
Don't quote me on that. All
Don't
right.
quote me on that. But
Where are you
it's
ranking?
just crazy. I don't understand what crack Nintendo
Okay.
is smoking to think that that's worth $10 and that people are going to willfully buy it. Like being a Nintendo YouTuber, I mean, I could make a video about it. I don't think that many people are actually going to buy the game. Like, is Nintendo's Welcome Tour really worth $10? I could do that, but other than that, Mad Cats.
All right.
Mad Cats. Okay.
So we got a wide spread here.
Yeah.
Stash is the decider.
All right. So yeah.
Everybody's in their own tier.
I played it at the Switch 2 experience. I played the mini games. I talked to the Nintendo rep quite extensively and got a lot of details about the game, about all the medals that you can earn in the game. And I think he said there's 80 to 100 medals, 40 to 50 mini games. I think the thing that I really appreciated about the game is just the amount of like Nintendo Easter eggs and nostalgia that are just baked into the whole experience. So for me, $10, yeah, I don't care. It's a drop in the bucket. I think they completely botched the marketing on it and everything else. So, there's people who are never going to play this because it costs money and they want it to be free. And I understand that. But what's important is, did I have fun? Because that's what video games are all about. Is it fun? Did you enjoy your time? And I did. And I'm excited to play it. I'm actually legit excited to play it because it was a lot of fun. The mini games are very fun. They're very addicting. It was a good time. This is a good party game for $10. Sign me up. I already have it pre-ordered. This is an A tier. This is Wave Race for me. And I think if people give it a chance, they would see what we're saying right now. But again, the stigma against it, it's thick, it's heavy. I don't know if it's going to get any better. We'll have to see. All right. Puyopuyo Tetris. 2S. Can't forget that 2S. For 2 Switch.
I love Puyopuyo Tetris. I don't even know why I haven't pre-ordered this yet. I fucking love Puyopuyo Tetris. I don't know what's so special. What is there something new with the S version versus the 2 version?
Yeah, there's some new stuff. As I go over it in my launch video.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
It's I think there's like more online stuff. There's a larger multiplayer. There is mouse mode. There's some things. Okay. There's some things. It's $40.
40? Tony Hawk. I like where you just said it. That Tony Hawk tier. Better than it had any right to be. $40. Yes. That's what, to be honest, that's the way I felt with Puyopuyo Tetris on the Switch. I did not expect to love that game as much as I did.
You and I played a lot of that.
Dude, we played a lot. Like we had Breath of the Wild. Didn't matter, man. This game was
Right?
addicting. It was fun.
You kicked my ass in Tetris. I kicked your ass in Puyo. It was all good.
And then we had to face each other up. Fine, you do Puyo. I do Tetris. Who's gonna win?
Yep.
Anyways, it was so fun. And I'm picking this up. I totally forgot it. It was even a launch game. It's getting picked up.
I mean, it's Tetris, Nintendo, synonymous.
Fuck, I'm picking it up right now. God damn it. This is more of the truth. I'm spending money right now. Assholes.
Eric, do you have more to add?
No, I did. Nate nailed it. Right.
Okay.
I agree with his assessment on that one.
Okay.
Wait, what did you put it in, Nate?
I put it in Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
Better than it should be.
Is there a physical version of this or is it digital only?
It's a game key card.
Key card? Okay, yeah, so I'll just buy it digital.
Oh, man, I am stuck between Wave Race and Tony Hawk. Puyopuyo Tetris is so much fun.
Yeah.
I haven't checked out enough of this version, so I definitely need to watch some videos on it and to see what's new. Oh man, I'm gonna keep it in Tony Hawk just because I know I'm gonna love it and I know I'm gonna play it, but I'm definitely when I look at the list of games, and obviously not all of my games have made it into the N tier or Wave Race tier, but when I look at the games that are there, I do rank those games higher. So I'm gonna keep it in Tony Hawk.
Okay.
But it's close. Part of me wants to put in Wave Race, so that's a tough one.
Now, the thing with Puyopuyo Tetris 2 is it's an amazing game. I love the first one, and it's one of the first Nintendo Switch games, too, so it's very nostalgic. Like, back when I only had, 4 games, I think that was the 4th physical game that I got. I got a lot of hours out of it, and it's one of my favorite puzzle games, and the sequel's just better. With that being said, though, this feels like a Nintendo Switch 2 edition upgrade. It's just not in the name. And if you can't upgrade it, I looked at the editions and it's Nintendo Switch 2 edition-esque upgrades. I don't like that about it. I don't really like how you need a double dip for it. And you can't just upgrade it. So in terms of being fair, I would say that it goes into Mad Cats because it's an amazing game, just poor execution.
All right.
With its release.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the Tony Hawk tier as well because just again, Nintendo console launch, handheld launch, and Tetris, it's synonymous. Tetris
goes together like peanut butter and salsa.
Yeah. Tetris Forever. I'd personally rather play that. I just got that in physically from Limited Run. Yeah, I mean, there's tons of Tetris there.
Yep.
But there's a market for it, and I think it deserves that. Windwaker.
What's wrong with you? I'm not even saying this to be contrarian.
Yeah.
It should be Windwaker HD. What the fuck are we doing with the GameCube version right now? When we have
the NSO.
I don't give a shit. Wind Waker HD, leaving it to die on Wii U, and then you bring back the GameCube version? No.
Well, you got to sell the GameCube NSO.
Yeah,
You can't leave one of the best games off of it and sell it.
Sure you can.
From a marketing standpoint.
You know how vast the library is on GameCube? How many other great games they could have chosen?
Yes, but
Wind Waker. They should have did that. I'm pure principle. This is like a slap in the face that we're not getting Wind Waker HD.
Okay.
What if we do, though?
That's fine.
Nate,
It should have been
you
already.
just put it in the Reggie tier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I love Wind Waker. And it's cool that it's back. And we
Turned
probably
out to be an upsetting show.
I'll say this. I also have a sneaking suspicion you can't do the Tingle Tune request. Which is the one change I hated with Wind Waker HD. They got rid of it. I bet you still can't do it in this version of the game, meaning that it's also not a complete version of Wind Waker. So, no, fuck off.
Eric.
Yeah. Damn.
This is shocking, dude.
You just shit
Really,
all on-
Eric?
Yeah, I think it's shocking too, but let's see what Eric has to say about it.
I mean, damn, I don't know. I don't know what the hell to say about it. I mean, theoretically, you could have just did Wind Waker HD and say it was a GameCube game and just say, fuck it, here you go.
But then that changes the entire precedence.
Yeah.
It changes
And then
everything.
everyone will expect that.
There's first person mode.
Yeah.
You know, there's anyways.
Yeah. Fuck it. I don't know. We tried. Fuck it. I don't know.
Okay.
I have no freaking clue.
All right, we tried. All right.
Game Bird.
This is the easiest S tier, Captain N of the night for me. Wind Waker is my favorite video game of all time. While I would love to see the HD version land on a Nintendo console again in the future, the time is not now. And the reason why, and I don't think the time was on the Switch either, even though I really wanted to play that game again. Listen, multiple reasons. Sorry, I got to rant about this because I'm just appalled that Nate threw this in the lowest tier possible. One, the GameCube version.
Game Bird self-proclaims he's the villain. I think we all know who the real villain is.
Listen, the GameCube version is way better looking than the HD version. First off, like there's no comparison. The bloom is way out of control on the HD version. It washes a lot of the colors out. It changes the look from that iconic Saturday morning cartoon to giving Link and the other characters, I don't know, like more dimension and shape that just looks kind of off. Second, bringing Wind Waker HD to Switch 2 is automatically an inferior version than the Wii U because it loses the dual screen functionality. I speculated that maybe Switch 2, before we found out what it was, could have some sort of dual screen functionality. And if that were the case, I would have been all for it and be like, yes, get it over immediately. But losing that functionality automatically makes it a worse version because having the convenience of item swapping and your map there at all times was a game changer. Not having to hit start, go to your iron boots, equip them, you go in, then you go back to start and you take them out of your inventory, swap to the item you need. This is the most, in my opinion, the most beautiful Zelda game to date. The visuals are timeless. This game is iconic. And I agree with Stash. Like, to have GameCube NSO and not have this game there would be absolutely silly. You'd literally be missing out on one of, if not the best games on the console. So that's an easy Captain N with a capital N for me.
I would have to say it all just depends on what the end game is for The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. If this means it's not happening on the Nintendo Switch 2, I would say it would probably go in We Tried. I guess it's better than nothing. But if it does happen, it would be in probably, I haven't played much of it, so I would say A tier, but it easily could go up to S. But for now, I'd say We Tried.
Okay. All right. So for me, yeah, I absolutely love Wind Waker. I don't care about Wind Waker HD. If we get it, great. I'll support it. But I'm very happy with the original Wind Waker. I think there's something to be said for being able to play the game how it was originally intended with the resolution upscaled on the GameCube NSO. So we're getting a better version of Wind Waker, but it's not the HD version with the bullshit HD bloom.
Thank you.
Which I don't like, not a fan of. You brought up a lot of great points about the Wii U gamepad and how that functionality is lost. You know, it stays on the Wii U. And again, you can't have the GameCube NSO without Wind Waker. That's a huge selling point. I think
Yeah.
you can have both. Look, I think Nintendo even said in their interview that this doesn't mean that
Yeah.
Wind Waker HD or Twilight Princess HD won't come out someday. So this doesn't rule them out. They said that literally. So
I mean,
I'm very
listen,
happy
here's the
with it.
thing. Here's the thing. It's my last point, and I'll let this one go to rest, but I have to say it. All you're missing out on by not having the HD version, since the graphics don't look as nice and you don't have the Wii U gamepad functionality, all you're losing, all there is to be upset about is that you don't have the updated sailcloth that you can get and the updated Triforce quest. That's all you're missing. You're saying this is bottom tier because we don't have this updated sailcloth and the updated Triforce quest.
Yeah,
That's it.
I agree. It's a wild ass take. But hey, this is what he wanted, man.
Everything you said. I think the
He's
graphics
still
are
my friend.
like when people bitch about the bloom, and I complained about it a bit back in the day, and then I finally went on a Caribbean cruise, and I just realized, no, motherfucker, when you're out in the middle of the ocean with the sun, that's actually what it fucking looks like. It's bright as fuck, and you need to wear sunglasses. So I understood the art direction and why they put the bloom in, because that's literally what it's like when you're out in the sea. So the bloom is just being realistic. I love it.
Well, I will just say, Wind Waker's original art style, again, ages like a fine wine, and being able to have that original art style, but upscaled, is really
I cannot
nice.
wait to gaze upon it.
Yeah, and I played it at the Switch 2 experience, and I thought it looked absolutely beautiful. I played it with the CRT mode as well, and I'm very excited to play this again because I own Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD on Wii U, but they're still sealed. Those babies are factory sealed. And I beat this game, I think it was in December 2003. So it's been 22 years. I think I'm due for a return. So I'm hyped. This is easy S tier for me. This is a no-brainer S tier. Which means we have
we're all over the place.
we have a tie.
Yeah.
Gamebird, Gamebird, you gave it an S. I gave it an S. Prime, you gave it a F, and Dimitri, you gave it a C. So
poop emoji.
It's a coin flip again. It's a coin flip again.
All right.
Prime put this on the same level as Survival Kids. I just want to point that out.
Yes.
Okay. So what are we calling Gamebird? What are we calling for Wind Waker? Heads or tails?
So
let's see. Oh man. Let's say tails.
Tails never fails.
Tails.
All right.
Yeah.
My man.
Order has been restored.
It's in the stars. I know.
Thank God.
If ever people thought that I run this shit and it's rigged, let me tell you.
Right.
Balance restored.
All right. Okay.
Not going the shit emoji.
Now to the next Zelda. Tears of the
All
Kingdom.
right. This is tough. My favorite game of all time. And I beat it. I haven't quite 100%ed it, but I'm really close. I believe the save transfer does come over, so I can just keep playing my save and finish off my 100% run. It's a little wonky. Like, as much as I'm going to enjoy, like, just like with Breath of the Wild, the frame rate increase and the resolution increase don't mean that much to me. The faster load times don't mean that much. It's the same game. But they did add story content, but you have to use a stupid app. Now there's full voice acting, and that's cool. But technically they added new story content. So this is S tier for me. It's my favorite game of all time, and you gave me a reason to play it again.
Okay.
That's all I needed. I don't need much to want to play my favorite game again, and you tell me new story content in a game that has, in my opinion, one of the better stories already. Let's fucking go.
Okay.
Sucks. I got to bring my phone on the journey.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. But whatever.
I think for that reason, I'll just put it in Wave Race because you got to use your phone.
Yeah, you can use
Just
the
put
phone.
the goddamn.
Yeah, you don't have to
shit in
censor.
the
Just say the word fucking
fucking
phone.
phone.
Ah, damn.
Oh my god.
Off.
Yeah.
Game Bird, how you feeling on this?
Tears is an easy S tier for me.
Yeah.
We don't disagree
Listen.
on everything, man.
Yeah, we don't disagree
Just
on
put the
everything.
right Zelda game, and then we're good.
I couldn't put Breath of the Wild in S tier. I love it. My interest in revisiting that game is much lower. As much as I loved, or I think loved is a better word for it. As much as I loved Breath of the Wild, that's been one that's been challenging for me to revisit. I think that game really did wonders for redefining what it means to be an open world game. But I also feel like Breath of the Wild, in hindsight, feels more like a proof of concept, and Tears of the Kingdom feels like the true feature-rich, dense vision fully expressed in a game. And for that reason, I knew I had to put this one higher, and I cannot wait to revisit Tears of the Kingdom on Switch 2. Yes, it is a little bit of a stinker that extra lore is going to be found through the app, but guess what? This is, wherever you rank Tears of the Kingdom in your Zelda list, I think most people at least would probably put it in their top 5. Obviously, there's exceptions to that. This is literally one of the best Zelda games ever made. And yeah, it's just going to be a wonderful trip down memory lane. And I can't wait to see it the way that you've already gotten to see it, Stash, with the beautiful HDR, the beautiful frame rate, all those goodies. So Tears of the Kingdom, here I come, is what I have to say.
All right, Demeech.
I would say that I don't like the phone thing, so that's the only reason why I would be going an A. But just like with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, it felt like a new experience just playing it with enhanced frame rates, resolution. It's incredible. It's unbelievable seeing it run so well. And it's just like, yeah, it's very exciting. But I don't like the phone thing, and I hope they never do that again. So I'm going to say A, Wave Race.
Once again, it comes down to Stash.
Okay, so again, a lot of what I said about Breath of the Wild, same thing applies here. This is an easy S tier for me, very easy. As far as the phone stuff, let me frame it in a different way. We're getting extra content. I would put this in S tier even if we didn't get extra content. So for me, this only adds to the experience. So I could never knock it points because they're giving me more stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to knock a game because I'm getting more.
Yeah,
even if it's on my phone.
Voice actors, to actually come back and revoice the new stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's more lore, and I am hyped for it. I'm like legit. I am very excited to play through these. I'm probably gonna get a map printed again and go the old fashioned way. Dude, It was so much fun playing like that. I kid you not. So yeah, I'm super hyped for it. Easy S tier for me. Okay. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. We have this, and then we have Fantasy Life, and then we're done.
Okay, so I've never played a Yakuza game, and I have this pre-ordered. I am very excited. I've heard a lot of good things. I did some research on it. People seem to really like it. A lot of people think it's a great entry point for the series if you've never played.
Yep.
Best entry point.
Yeah, like
my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. And I'm not really sure why. I just never really played it before, but I don't matter. I'm really fucking excited. So I'm going to say Wave Race tier.
80s Japan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is sick. I mean, I love the 80s. Who doesn't?
So my pure excitement has it at Wave Race tier. Will it stay there after I play it? I don't know, but that's where I'm at.
Okay. Eric.
Yeah. I have no clue on these games, so I'm going to put it right smack dab in the middle.
Okay. Game Bird.
Man, this is a hard one for me. I'm very tempted to put it in S tier. The Yakuza series is probably in my top 10 favorite series of all time. This is my favorite entry in the series. Man, I can't give this game enough praise, and the fact that Nintendo fans are gonna get a chance to play this is even cooler. They're adding new content. There's almost like there's a new online multiplayer mode that's like a horde mode in the game. There's new story content.
Red light
Yep.
raid.
Yep. There's new story content that's not in the original, and they've added English voice acting, which wasn't an option in the original Yakuza 0. So those are all huge wins. It does lose some points because it is a key card. There's no true physical edition for this game. I will say this, anyone who's looking to try this game out for the first time, this game does have some jank. This is one of those rare exceptions where I feel like the jank lends itself to the game. It adds to the kind of like super over the top, over dramatic storytelling. And I will say, I'm probably sticking with the Japanese voice acting because in this game, it is unbelievable. If you guys like twists and turns and incredible character development and character storyline, this game is up your alley. If you guys grew up playing beat 'em ups, up your alley. If you guys love Japan in the 80s, like Stash said, this game is up your alley. It is so much fun. And my top 3 Switch 2 games that I want to play for the first month and devote most of my attention to is going to be Mario Kart, Yakuza 0, and Tears of the Kingdom. I definitely want to check out some of these other games that we have here, but these 3 are the ones that I intend to spend most of my time in. I'm going to put this in the A. I've already completed the game, and it is a key card only, but again, I'm tempted to put in S. That's how much I love this game.
I've never played a Yakuza game, but from what you guys said, I love Japan and the 80s. That already is something that makes me interested in playing the game. The game key card thing, it's like, it sucks, but this is a game I might check out. Not sure if it would be a day one, but definitely down the road. Down the road, meaning like probably a few months when it goes on sale. I am definitely interested in checking it out. So I would say Tony Hawk.
Hell yeah. And I want to add one more thing too, just as a FYI, because I know there's a lot of people who are new to this series with the recent entries. You guys, we've talked a lot about, especially with the welcome tour to Switch 2. If you guys like mini games, this game has hundreds of them. You could literally go into arcades, play on the arcade cabinets. There's billiards and that you could go to and play and throw darts and do mini kart, the little RC kart racing. And there's
Are there any classic
dating
Sega
sim games, like dozens and dozens of mini games. So this one is packed with content.
Okay. So for me, I would say it teeters a little bit into S tier territory. Yakuza series is phenomenal. Obviously, Yakuza then turned into the Like a Dragon series. It's $50. That's a good deal for what you're getting, the amount of content you're getting. If you're a completionist, the amount of hours you're getting for this is insane. The multiplayer mode, it's in 4K. This is 4K 60. So it's real close to S tier for me. Really close. I'd probably say S tier. I'm going to give it S tier, but it ain't going to go there.
Oh yeah.
Because the overriding is A tier, which is right where it's at. Wave Race 64. Yeah, super hyped for that. All right, so last but not least is a game that was just announced to be coming to Switch 2. That is Fantasy Life, the Girl Who Steals Time, and $2.59 to upgrade from the Switch 1 to Switch 2. There is no physical edition in the United States on Switch 1.
For a second, I thought it was like a $2.59 game.
Oh, I wish.
That would be wild.
That'd be sick. But yeah,
So awesome.
You're already.
there's no physical. So, again, I wouldn't knock that any points because there's just no physical. It's a digital game. And I don't know if you guys have seen, there's been reviews that have been coming out over the last like 2-3 days. It's reviewing very, very well. And the Switch 2 upgrade will give it improved performance, so improved resolution and frame rate. And again, it's less than $3 to upgrade it. Prime time.
So I originally wasn't that interested in this game, but then I talked to, the cozy game extraordinaire Nintenbyte,
Yeah.
because he's very hyped. He has the game, he's played, he streamed it. Watched some of his stream on Switch. The game looks way better than it has any right to be.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like there's a certain appeal to it that goes beyond your normal cozy games. And as you said, reviewing very well. The meta score is a little whatever because there's only 6 reviews on it, so it's like an 81.
Yeah.
But there's like 50 user reviews and it's like an 8.7. People love this game when they play it. So it is expensive. Like we talk about the $259, but if you don't own it, it's like a $60 game. It's not cheap. So a lot of people, when they think of cozy games, they think of games that are like, $30 to $40. But no, this is like a full priced. Now to be clear, it hasn't been out very long. So like anyone expecting it to be discounted for Switch 2, I mean, that wasn't going to happen. This game's only been out for like a week or two. Okay. Like it just recently released.
It just came out a few days ago.
Yeah. So like it's you can't expect discounts for it yet. It is cool, really nice that they're giving such a cheap upgrade path if you bought it on Switch 1, because this was not announced for Switch 2. So it kind of came out of nowhere that they decided, hey, we're going to do the Switch 2 version. It would have been cool if they would have just did a free upgrade because of that, because they already got that full price out of you. But what are you going to do? It's still, they're not charging that much. So that said, because of Nintenbyte and some conversations I had with him about the game and the things I saw when he streamed it, I'm actually kind of excited. I'm not going to be picking it up for 60 because I don't know if I'm excited enough to drop that sort of money on it. But definitely if this hits a 50% off sale, I might finally dive deep into a cozy game that isn't Animal Crossing. So I'm going to give a Tony Hawk score to this one.
Okay.
Better than it had any right to be.
Okay. Yeah. Eric.
Yeah. Honestly, just watching a little bit of the trailers and stuff like that, it looks like it could be a fun game. Not my type of thing, but it looks like it could be fun. So that's where I was thinking, just putting it a little bit above we tried. So I was thinking Tony Hawk.
Okay. Game Bird.
So I own this game. I bought it when it first came out on the Switch. I've put about 10 hours into it. And I will 100% be spending the money to upgrade to the Switch 2 version. I've been very curious about a lot of cozy games, and a lot of them just don't land with me. I could never get too into Animal Crossing. The game always holds me for a little bit, and then I dip. I'm kind of just over it. Same thing with Stardew Valley. I will vouch for Fantasy Life. I'm addicted. 10 hours in, I think about it all the time. And my first thoughts a couple hours in is like, man, I should do an impressions video on this game for Switch because I'm having so much fun and I want to talk about it. But then with the schedule, and working on stuff. So then I was like, you know what? I've been interested in starting to do some random live streams, maybe once a week or twice a week on my channel. And I'm really leaning towards starting a new game on this and streaming it on the channel just to hang out with people. Guys in the chat, if you follow me, if that's something that sounds fun to you guys, let me know in the chat because I'm definitely considering it. But I will tell you this. I think this game, for me, blows Animal Crossing out of the water. I think it's worth the price tag. You get the things that you get from Animal Crossing the cozy, the interesting and funny, quirky characters, but it adds those deeper RPG elements with the different job systems, the skill trees, the combat. You've got your regular attack, your strong attack, your special ability with dodge rolls. It has 4-player co-op online where you could do dungeon delves with friends and stuff online. This is a really fun game. And there's a storyline to it that's charming and silly and fun. I do see areas where the Switch 2 version is going to enhance the experience a little bit on the visual and performance side. The game is a little bit blurry on the Switch. So this is an A for me. I'm really excited to play this more on Switch 2. And if any one of you guys ever decides to dip into this game and wants to try out the multiplayer, because I don't know anyone personally who has the game or is interested, I'd love to try some of the online cooperative and do some dungeon diving and stuff like that. A for me.
Okay. Nice.
I really enjoy Animal Crossing New Horizons, so seeing a game that's also cozy seems like something that I could get interested in. It'd be nice if the upgrade was free, but just considering how cheap it is, that's great to hear. So I would definitely say Tony Hawk tier just for that. But yeah, I mean, it's a cozy game. It's good to have it. It's good having a variety for the launch lineup. So I would say, yeah, Tony Hawk's a good place to put it.
All right.
Cool. Yeah, I'm planning to pick this up. Again, I've seen some reviews, some impressions on it, and normally I'm not going to play a game like this because it's the type of game that's going to steal my time. And I only have so much time.
It will. I legit
Yeah.
have been thinking about it in bed. Like, I wish it wasn't so late so I could play a little bit more Fantasy Life. I'm enjoying
Yeah.
it.
So you're not even playing it and it's stealing your time.
Yes.
See, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the fear. Okay. That's the fear I have, is that you only have so much time. And do I really want to let some girl steal my time that's not my girl, right?
Absolutely.
Because she demands a lot of time too. However, I think we would have a good time playing it together because she has a good time with these kinds of games. I'm a big fan of time travel. I love Back to the Future.
Yep.
So yeah, ultimately, I think it's time that I finally step in to the cozy arena and have a good time playing Fantasy Life, the girl who stole time. So we need to figure out a good time to have a good time to play this together, Gamebird.
Let's do it, man. It's a date.
Yeah, I'm down to play online though. I think it'll be fun. This looks like it does look like a good time.
This game has the element that's missing from these type of games that kind of keeps me away, and that's like those RPG and the personal growth mechanics that carrot on the stick, other than just trying to pay off constant debt from a crook who engages in child labor practices.
All right. So where's it land? Couldn't remember.
That's gonna land on B.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Tony Hawk.